recording. I just wanted to let you know, I read the first 20 chapters of Lore Olympus today.
Good.
What a piece of trash Jay is.
Did you say Lore Olympics?
Lore
Olympus. Talk yet, so.
Huh?
It's a huge, like,
You
webcomic.
didn't get nearly far enough in it for us to talk yet.
I get it.
It's basically the thing that people threw themselves into after that one comic got, like, super put on hiatus. The fuck was that comic that Katie and Jay used to read?
Saga?
Saga. There we go.
I mean, they're very different art styles that are nothing alike, but I guess.
Why would they have to be alike, Jay? If they were alike, why would people gravitate to it? It would be the same story.
I mean, I'm trying to figure out what they have in common.
Why would they need to have anything in common?
But you said that...
Do you like everything that's just exactly the same?
Audience.
No,
Audience.
but-
All right, then. Exactly, Pat. Audience. Audience is what they have in
I'm not even agreeing with you, but that was like such an easy answer.
Yeah, it's just
I'm just
audience.
trying to figure out, like, if there's no common thread, then why is it the same audience?
Jay. Your Lie in April. Is it the same exact thread as, like, Breaking Bad?
No.
But I like both of them. You know why? So they have me as the
They
same
could-
audience.
Because you like Your Lie is April, which is good, and you like Overrated Trash with
Oh my
You've never even seen Breaking Bad, you
That's
piece of
not
trash.
true. I watched the first episode.
First off, you've seen the first episode of Breaking Bad, then you should already know how good it can be.
I'm about to say it's one of the best episodes.
Absolutely.
I hope not. Then that's not a good sign.
Because it's a sign that you have bad taste.
I mean, you are my friend, Patrick.
I know. And I'm friend with someone with brain damage.
Yeah. Because Jessica hit me too
Literal
hard.
brain damage. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome out to the Kuma
Wait,
Cave.
did everything we just said, is that part of
Oh
it?
yeah, it's going in.
Okay.
Oh.
Welcome out to the Kuma Cave. Today we are going to be speaking on
Lore
the
Olympus?
PlayStation 5. No Lore Olympus. I don't know crap about Lore Olympus except that the fact that the characters are all colored one solid color, and it's weird.
No.
I hope she gets a gold medal.
She might. I think she's going for a gold medal and sucking dick. I think that's what that damn
To be fair,
thing is
I'd
about.
ship it.
Isn't that the whole purpose of it?
You don't
Isn't
know
it just
that.
one big relationship? I will never know. I will pick up Lore Olympus the moment I pick up Homestuck.
Homestuck?
Now, I don't know what this is, but when you said I'd ship it, I was like, are you shipping her and sucking dick? Is she going to fall in love and have a relationship with the concept of sucking dick?
Yes. All girls should, like, fall in love with the relationship of sucking dick. Right, Pat? That's what you
No.
told me yesterday.
I definitely didn't
Pat,
say that.
Pat, don't lie now just because
I
we...
Oh
believe if
my
you want to be a
God.
guy or girl,
You-
if you enjoy sucking dick, you should do it.
That's what I'm saying, man.
Hey, I agree with what Jay just said. What Terrence said was some wild stuff.
I'm repeating what you told me. It was just echo.
Everything I say is on stream. I don't talk off stream.
Okay.
I mean,
Look.
I would say sucking dick is
Yes.
a relationship. enhancer.
Honestly, he's right, though. Like, man, woman...
Child.
No, absolutely not.
But see, my issue with what you said was you said all women. And there are some women who aren't into dudes with dicks, but are into women or
You're
just
right.
not anything.
You're right. I retract my previous statement, and I will say this. All women should...
Do whatever makes them happy.
Yes, all women...
I
should.
really thought you were just going to say the exact same thing.
No. All women and all men should fall in love with performing oral on their partners.
High five
Oral
to that.
is an important part of forming a bond in a relationship, and if you are not willing to go down on your partner, unless you have a solid reason, like you have a fear of genitalia,
Or you're asexual and you aren't into intercourse like that, then
fair enough, unless you are asexual.
But I will say, it's a really good hygiene habit.
Why?
So you
I
go-
guess
There's a lot
for
of
the person
bacteria in your
receiving,
There's a lot of
for
bacteria.
the
in your
person
mouth.
giving, it definitely can't be.
You don't know that.
Well, no. For the person receiving, it's far worse. There's far more bacteria in your mouth than there would be on like a penis or a vagina.
So functionally, it's just bad for in the hygiene regard.
Hey,
It's not good for anybody.
Let's not go spreading like heinous untruths about it being bad for everybody now.
That's why I switched. I said not good. At best, neutral.
Oral got rid of cancer or something.
Well, get to it.
I mean, yeah. I mean, if your tongue be doing work like that, or your throat, I'm not sure. I worry about
Jay's
you.
quiet for like 10 minutes during this thing. You'll know.
First off, if I was quiet, you know that is not the reason why. You gotta purr like a moose when you're doing it.
A moose?
Yes.
Yeah, but you're gonna be under the table. The mic won't pick it up.
That's a disturbing moose that you're making up over
Hell
there.
yeah.
Well, he's going down on a moose. How do you think he knows what it sounds like?
I feel like you'd have to go up on a moose. Like everything just dingles down. Everything just dingles down.
So
Depends. It depends. I don't know. I feel like you still got a hunch down. You're not you don't have to get on. Honestly, I feel like for a moose, you're probably like getting like on like a taller version of the thing like mechanics use to get under cars.
Just slide right under
say
there.
a moose has got you loose.
No, the
Going off the
goose
trunk.
got me loose, but no moose.
A moose got you loose.
I'm pretty sure trying to perform oral on a moose would be you would sound like the monks when they throat sing when it's just that low, just.
So you're talking about like the Halo theme song.
Yeah. That's exactly what it sounded like.
Nah, you would sound like the opera singer from Fifth Element.
First off, that would be like the best oral sex you could ever receive in your life.
But once
octaves.
the moose completed, you had to cut your stomach open so you could pull out the stones.
You
The
know, I
stones?
feel like I had a really, really good segue point there where I at least would manage to bring up a video game.
And then
And y'all just went right past that exit further down Moose Blown Boulevard.
that's not true because then we can start talking about once the moose
Once the
moose like actually then proceeds
Busts a
to
nut.
ejaculate, it reminds you of Spider-Man's web, which takes us directly into the fact that a new Spider-Man game got announced. Spider-Man Miles. Spider-Man Miles Morales.
Dances led to me seeing a moose bust a nut. My first thought would not be, oh, sweet, awesome, like Spider.
I mean, we could have worked in reverse.
Yo.
What if it was a robot moose and you had to kill it and it spread your horizons?
Like the Zero Dog.
I prefer moose nutting into Spider-Man.
No, I don't want to see a moose nut into Spider-Man. Good God,
Don't
man.
buy the new Spider-Man game. You'll be severely disappointed.
Is that how Peter gets injured and Miles has to take over?
Yes.
Peter gets nutted by a moose.
Because of moose ejaculate.
I mean,
And unfortunately...
Consensual.
Yeah.
Moose ejaculate.
And
it's not
unfortunately, it was
consensual, it's a
radioactive.
moose.
It was radioactive like the semen that almost killed Mary Jane.
Aw, that's rough. Poor guy.
Or Lois Lane. That's a multiple comic story, and that's horrible.
Look.
The
At least
90s were a fucked up time.
yeah. Well, at least it's not like Hancock, where every time he ejaculated, he like did like a shotgun through like the freaking roof of the trailer.
I mean, you better have some hips that can handle it.
I mean, I guess if your hips don't lie, I guess.
Or
Like,
just go outside and aim it at the dirt.
Or go outside and aim it at a predator.
are you saying that they should just run outside with their dick in hand and just ejaculate into the dirt?
I mean,
No, I mean, you go outside, you make a nice jerk-off spot outside, and then when you're done, you shoot it into the dirt.
Pat,
First-
do you have a jerkin spot?
You don't? Everybody has a jerkin
I
spot
do not
outside.
have a jerkin spot outside.
I thought that's what you did when you were like, I'm feeding the ducks. I'm making hand quotes here. When you said you were feeding the ducks, I thought you were just going into your outside jerk-off spot.
No, I was feeding the ducks.
It still sounds like
Yes?
I like ducks.
Jism?
yeah, I
No,
was saying
that's
that's
nasty.
that sounds like a sexual euphemism if
Ducks
I've ever
can't
heard one.
eat. Ducks can't eat bread, but they can eat cracked corn.
I thought he was about to say semen, and I was about to be like, get out.
I thought you were going to say ducks can't eat bread unless it's covered in semen. And
Oh.
either way, it's incorrect. Ducks can't eat bread.
And semen.
Ducks,
But not
ducks,
seaman.
No,
ducks should
not at
not
all.
eat bread. It makes their stomachs explode, and they get really.
You said they
sick.
can't. Not
They
that they
can't.
shouldn't.
They Shut up, Pat.
I mean,
They're different
Pat,
things.
Pat, you can't be happy.
damn,
That's true. I won't argue that one.
that's not true. There's very, very many things that can make you happy.
Yeah.
Like, for
say,
instance,
the PS5.
exactly, the PlayStation 5. That would make Pat very happy if he had one right now.
If I had one right now, I'd be fucking through the moon.
Exactly. So, the first thing they showed off in the PlayStation 5 conference today
this, Jim?
was Spider-Man Miles Morales.
Yeah.
Which looked to be, like, from the little they showed of it, it looks like it's, because they didn't show Peter at all in the trailer.
You heard him talk.
Yeah, well, you heard him talk, but you don't
Yeah.
really, like, see him. Because spoilers, but both of y'all finished it, right? Well, Pat,
Yeah.
you didn't finish it.
What, Spider-Man?
Yeah.
No, I haven't. You can say it. I don't care. I probably won't get back to it.
Okay, well, spoilers for the end of the game. But literally, Miles has his powers at the end of the game. So it's Peter just being like, hey, let me teach you how to be Spider-Man.
Pretty much.
And that's pretty much how it
Well,
kind of
also, it seems like they aged Miles up quite a bit.
Not really. He was
I
a...
thought Miles was like a young teen in that game, and they kind of made him
Yeah.
look like he's like more an adult.
No, he looked like a
fully.
young teen still.
I'm about to say, I think it's kind of hard to make any discersions from the trailer.
Yeah. I'd still say he's probably
There's
a
like
young teen.
nothing to size him against. I think he looks pretty young still, but I wouldn't say one way or the other based on what we saw.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
But I'm saying I'm really looking forward to it. I think it'll be interesting to see where they go. Like we kind of had a discussion earlier about whether it's actually going to be a full game or not.
Yeah.
I think it'll be like, I think it'll definitely be something standalone, but again, like the Spider-Man that came out 2018, that was like I feel like even if you did minimal side stuff, you're still looking like 15 16 hours of game time there. And I could easily, like, I wouldn't be surprised if this was 8 to 9.
Yeah.
Which isn't, there's nothing wrong with that. I just, I think there's a reason they didn't blast out a whole bunch of info about it. And
Yeah.
I don't know. It's cool, like, because up front, like, it's cool, like, oh shit, more Spider-Man. And that's all, that's exciting and enough. Like, I'm not going to be upset if it is that. I will be very pleasantly surprised if it's another 15, 16 plus hour game.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I could easily see them just kind of pulling like a, what was it, Saints Row the 4th?
Where it's basically a clone of the third.
Yeah, when it was just supposed to be like a DLC for the 3rd, and then they decided to turn it into its own full-blown game. Like,
Yeah.
I could see that, because that engine is still, like they built that just for Spider-Man, so I could easily see them just using the same engine again, and
Yeah.
you don't really need to do too much to, like, update the visual fidelity of it all, and, I mean, they haven't said with PlayStation, but I know at least with Xbox, when they talked about Madden, they were talking about being able to use, like, the Xbox One version on the Xbox Series X, and then it'll just kind of, like, after, like, a DLC free download, it should, like, update everything so, like, it looks like an Xbox Series X game.
Yeah, so that's called smart delivery, is what it's their nice buzzword for it. But basically, if, like, as long as the publisher allows, so, like, the Madden example you gave is actually pretty interesting, because that's one of the ones that's actually technically not smart delivery. EA's just letting, like, only for a certain amount of time letting that happen, versus something like Cyberpunk, which is the first third-party one that got announced for it. I could buy Cyberpunk when it comes out in September, and then 2 to 3 years down the road get an Xbox One X, and my version of Cyberpunk will be the Xbox One X version as
Right.
well.
Okay.
So, like, Madden, that's only, like, a limited time thing. It was originally only supposed to be till this coming April, and then they recently extended it till the following Madden comes out.
Yeah.
But I think those are still going to be 2 separate SKUs, technically. While here, it's just you're buying one thing, and depending on which system you're playing on, you're getting that version.
Yeah.
Sony hasn't said anything in regards to having a system like that yet. And they still... So, I don't know. That's a weird one, because if they were, I would have thought it would have come today.
The closest thing that we've heard from Sony is, I think it was like a week or two ago, Sony issued a directive basically saying any game that's coming out after like June 13th has to be playable on the PlayStation 5 as well. That's the only thing I have heard of that's like solid. So I'm assuming Ghost of Tsushima is probably going to be like the first like.
That's pre.
Yeah.
That's pre that date.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Ghost of Tsushima has already said that it's going to be PlayStation 5 compatible.
Right, but the difference. So the difference between and what Trippy was talking about was there's going to be an actual like work done to like the Cyberpunk, and there's going to be an Xbox One X and PlayStation 5 version of Cyberpunk. On Xbox, when I buy the Xbox One version, I'm getting the Xbox Series X version. I'm not just playing the Xbox One version backwards compatible. We don't know yet if PlayStation's going to have a system like that. I know I'm going to be able to play the PS4 version of something like Ghost of Tsushima, or I'd assume Cyberpunk, on the PS5. I know for sure, actually, Cyberpunk, because it's going to be after that date. But will it be the PS5 version, or just the PS4 version running on a PS5?
Yeah, see, that's a good question. And, like, what's kind of, like, weird to me is that, with the cancellation of like E3 and a bunch of other like big events this year, you didn't get, like the standard conferences where they would, show it in front of a group of people. But the PlayStation's already had 2 conferences basically about the PS5. Today's was only about like games and stuff. That's really all it did, and then it showed off just a little bit about the controller and then the actual design of the PlayStation 5 itself.
Yeah, they showed that box.
Yeah, they showed that box with its pop collar, but we'll get to that. And then that box. But the previous conference was literally just like tech speak. It literally just showed off like all the like tech that's inside the PlayStation 5. And
it was their GDC conference presentation.
Yeah,
they just showed it to everybody, where normally we would have never even saw that.
Right. So like we got to see that, and through both conferences, we have heard literally nothing about its backward compatibility capabilities, and that's what kind of worries me in a way, because it feels like some right like
stuff. They said it's there, so we know there's going to be some form. I imagine it'll be pretty wide. I would imagine there's going to be use case scenarios where certain games won't work, and I think that's going to be like that for both systems.
Right, but see, I kind of want to know if it's going to be like the whole Xbox One to Xbox 360 thing, where it's like some games will work, and then we'll add more, because that's fine.
I think I don't think it'll be like that. I think it's going to be more where this gen, and I think it's going to be this way for both consoles. They're going to start with basically, I don't want to say everything's going to be available, but they're starting from the place of we're going to have everything available and then work backwards and figuring out what doesn't work and removing that from saying, hey, this is on this kind of place. Versus where with the Xbox One for 360 stuff, they have they were literally doing work on every single one of those things to get it to run on an Xbox One.
Yeah.
So I think this time around, they both of them thought ahead and get this ahead of, like, have the stuff in place ahead of time. So that'll be, I think, a for the most part, non-issue. Again, I think there'll be games here and there where just something doesn't work right, and you would have to do an enhanced version. When I say enhanced, I just mean a version where you have to go back and actually do some work to it to get it to actually run. That some companies are going to go, nah, it's not worth it.
Yeah.
And I think that'll be that for some games, which is sad. But I would say 90+% I would imagine is going to run backwards compatible on both consoles.
Right.
Again, the big question for me for Sony is if I like, part of me hesitates to want to buy Ghost of Tsushima when it comes out, because I know I'm going to get a PS5.
Mm-hmm.
And if there's going to be a PS5 enhanced version of this game, I'd rather, and I don't get that included with my PS4 purchase of the game, I would be very upset.
Yeah.
Because I know, like, Gears 5, they already said they're enhancing that for Xbox with Series X.
Yeah.
And that, like, I don't have to pay anything extra for that.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. That's the big thing. And I honestly didn't, until you guys brought it up, like, I was just awash in a wave of euphoria from everything today. I was thinking back, and I was like, man, if they were going to do something like that, I think they would have thrown that into that pre-part of the conference like they did with the GTA stuff.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, even the GTA, like, was kind of weird. Like, so the GTA Online is going to be free for all PS5 owners.
Yeah.
Which, everything I've read so far specifically points out that it's GTA Online and not GTA 5, so just the multiplayer stuff.
Yeah, I think it's just going to be the multiplayer stuff, but whether you actually, I'm sure you'll actually need to own a copy of the game.
Well, but that's the thing, though. So no, that's kind of what they're saying. It's because it's not like you buy expansions or anything for GTA Online.
Right.
If you have GTA 5, you have GTA Online. So if they're saying GTA Online will be free for all PlayStation 5 owners, then I have to assume that means
use the PlayStation 4
you
disc.
still have to that you still have to buy the campaign part if you want to play the enhanced GTA 5 single player stuff.
Huh.
Which I would, again, that's an example of something where I would have thought, I already bought GTA 5 twice, mind you. I did it 360 and Xbox One. I'm hoping when that Xbox One X version of GTA 5 Enhanced comes out, I'm not going to have to pay again for that.
I mean, hopefully not.
I don't know. It'll be interesting. Again, I'm not going to put that on Sony or Microsoft. At least I know on Microsoft's side, Microsoft puts the tools for the developers there to let that happen. I'm assuming Sony has that too. They just haven't talked about that. And I'm thinking now, I've been like, today would have been the day to do that. Because you got 2 big profile games literally about to come out.
Yeah. Let's see.
And you would have... there are people who are literally... I mean, Last of Us 2 is a perfect example. You're going to have people going in who are going to go, I'll wait for the PlayStation 5 version.
Absolutely. And that's kind of why I was saying that it's so weird to me that today wasn't the day that they chose to, like, come out with the news about anything with how their backwards compatibility or, like smart delivery was going to work if they're going to do something similar to smart delivery. That's why it's like... How much longer do you need to wait? What are you going to do? Another conference?
Not before Last of Us. That's for sure. Last of Us is the date when we're doing this. What? 8 days away.
Yeah.
Oh, it's next Friday?
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, I really do wonder what the scope of PlayStation 5's gaming is going to be like.
They got to be smart enough to know they're going to catch a lot of flack if they do. Like, it's one thing going from PS3 to PS4. We got Last of Us redone then, but you didn't have the systems in place. You weren't, digital wasn't what it was
now
in 2013 as it is in the year 2020.
Yeah, absolutely.
They're putting out an all digital. They're putting out an all digital console.
Yeah.
Yep. I'm kind of. I literally wasn't thinking about this all. Now I'm at your level of concern now.
Yeah.
That you would have... Why wouldn't you talk about that today? Because you don't have another time to talk... Like, you don't have another time to give it the press it needs. Because that's a big deal. And you should blow that... Like, you should be shouting that. This is your biggest platform you've had all year. Literally 1 million people on Twitch alone were watching it.
Yep.
It was crazy watching that number go up.
Yeah.
Like, they were at 200,000 before the stream started, and that dial was just rolling. And I was like, this is huge.
Man, people are waiting.
That's... Damn.
I mean, dude.
Damn trippy.
Didn't mean to fuck your mind up, man.
That's wild to me.
Yeah, man, like... So, I mean, we'll see what they're going to do with that. I mean, they only got so much time left before, people are going to start putting in their pre-orders and shit. As soon as those pre-orders hit, they're going to hit hard. So they need to come out and see what they're going to do. So,
well, to get back on track, after Spider-Man, they talked about a track racing game, Gran Turismo.
And this is the first numbered one since PS3, right? Because they put out Sport.
Yeah. So I talked about this during the stream. I was telling Fuzzy, I never bought Sport because I was like, well, they'll do a numbered one, and that'll be the one to have on PS4.
Yeah.
And then it never came, and this is why. Because they just were like, it took us forever to get Sport out, and we might as well just jump right to the next system. And I think it's a smart call.
Yeah.
It looks gorgeous.
It does look
car
gorgeous.
porn always looks good. You know it's a next generation because you get car porn, and one other thing I'll point out later in this list that I called perfectly on stream.
Yeah.
Car porn is a big thing you always get with next gen, which is funny because I don't think Microsoft is going to have Forza. They might show Forza in their conference. It ain't going to be in that first 6 months.
Really? You think so?
I'm willing to bet because they worked on Forza 7. They did like an extra year of up. Like normally that game comes out, you get a year and then it's done. Because the Forza Horizon and they're interstitial and they're year. And they own a whole year of basically content. 7 stayed getting updates. They continued to do and it's not just like cars, like they were making gameplay changes to the way like traction and stuff worked and a lot of that stuff. And they basically said this is in kind of like preparation for how we're going to change our engine going forward, but it still came to 7. So they weren't done doing that until like mid last year. And I don't know if that's enough time to get a Forza ready for next gen.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, unless they've just been working on it on the side. Do 2 different teams work on Horizon in the regular series?
Yes, Playground works on the Horizon, but they're working on Horizon, and then they're also working on unannounced AAA RPG Fable. So there's no way Horizon's going to be ready because that was just last year.
Yeah.
But to stay on Gran Turismo a bit, one of my favorite things I've always loved about Gran Turismo, and I've wanted to get into one because I didn't play a lot on my PS3.
Yeah.
I wasn't going to get a racing game for PS3. I hate the DualShock 3. It's my least favorite controller of all time. DualShock 4, it's to me one of the biggest leaps in quality from controller generation to controller generation there's ever been.
I will say this real quick. I honestly never had a problem with the DualShock 3 until I hadn't played the PS3 in probably 3 or 4 years. Straight playing my PS4. So I go back when me and Jay were shooting for a Gundam Battle Assault. And my God, I hate that controller now, holding it. It's like, oh my God, the PlayStation 4 controller feels so much better than this.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, but it's the multiple things about it. It's way smaller. The triggers suck. And then I don't know, the way you can hold a PS4 controller just feels so much more sexy than holding the damn DualShock 3.
I don't have the hatred that you have with the PS4 3 controller, but obviously the PS4 controller is hands down better. Like I remember when we were working at GameStop, my PS4 controller showed up because I had it pre-ordered.
Yeah.
And we all opened it up and we were like, I think it was me, you, and Ben.
Probably.
Yeah, because they were in like a week or 2 early.
Yeah, and we all opened it up, and I was like, oh my God. And then I took that shit home, and I played Final Fantasy 14 on my PS3 for 3 days. It was great.
Yes, that's right, because as long as you had it wired in, you could use it on the PS3.
Yes, sir.
Yep. If I remember right, because I can't remember, I'm having a hard time remembering because it's been such a long time since I hooked mine to the PS3. I don't think the PS3 charged it, though.
I don't know.
No, it would run, it didn't need to be charged. It would pull enough power, I believe, to run.
Okay.
But it would not charge it.
Okay. Yeah, that was super weird. But, alright, yeah, Car Simulator, Gran Turismo, it's great that they're actually putting it out, being the fact that it used to be one of, Sony's major titles, and then they just kind of just slept on it for the entirety of the PS4 lifecycle, except for with Sport, and then just nothing else.
Yeah, Sport. They did the VR stuff for Sport, and that was it. I will say one thing I've always loved about Gran Turismo. They have such and it's no way do I mean this as an insult, but it's the best word I have to describe it. A sterile menu experience on that thing.
Yeah.
It is a very particular style to how Gran Turismo's menus and layout is, at least since from what I've seen on PS3, and I like the moment they showed those menus, I was like, oh, yep, there you go. That like it's more than the cars. I went, that's Gran Turismo.
Yeah. I mean, I'll say that game, as you would expect for a Gran Turismo or like a Forza or anything like that, that game was very, very pretty. Like, and I feel like that's usually how you can, like, look at the visual power of a console. Like, when you see, like, those freaking cars and, like, Forza and, like, Gran Turismo, that's where you're like, okay, this is the pretty.
Oh, yeah. I'm about to say, again, it's such, people get cars. Like, especially when you start reaching points where, I mean, Forza definitely did this. I think Gran Turismo has spots where they did this last gen too, where you get the right picture at the right angle in those games, and you're going, is this a picture of a real car, or is this a game?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
And I think it's going to look more like that in motion going forward, which is going to be awesome.
Yeah, man. Graphics on PS5 are already going to be insane because, I mean, they're already starting off on that high level that the PS4s and the Xbox One have already gotten to. Well, Xbox One X have already gotten to. So it's going to be crazy to see where it goes from here.
Oh, yeah.
Because I just remember the jump when you, like, the first game I remember being, like, super impressed by on, like, the PS4 was freaking Infamous Second Son. Is that what it's called?
Yes, sir.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that game, like, the way, like, it looked compared to like any PS3 game I had played was just insane. Like the sparks that you could get from using attacks, the way the streets looked wet.
I was gonna say the particle effects and like all the bells and whistles were there right from the jump.
Oh yeah,
which really helped it stand out. And I think that's one thing this gen's kind of having a harder time. Like stuff looks really good, but I think part of what they're having a harder time with is conveying that.
Yeah.
Because, like, we're seeing videos and stuff, but we're still hamstrung. We're seeing it all online. And, you know, it's on YouTube and Twitch where it's 1080, 30 frames a second. If you're lucky, 60.
Yeah.
But when we're going to have these things in our homes, you're looking at 4K 60 frames a second. And it's going to look even better than what we're seeing Artifact and everything online. Like, it's going to be stellar. That I can't wait for.
Yeah.
Not to mention the freaking run processing power you're gonna get.
Oh yeah, especially with a solid state drive on that bitch. Yeah.
So I think the next game on the list, which is Ratchet and Clank, definitely took the fact that load times seem to be not a big thing for games much anymore.
Oh yeah.
And turned it into a whole gameplay gimmick. With how the game's all about jumping through rifts and portals and stuff, and I imagine there's going to be no load times as you transfer to these. You know, they showed the example was like a grappling hook, but instead of flying through the air, you literally are just in the spot afterwards.
Yeah.
Which was a little jarring because I was like, I'd be fine with just. A grappling hook would work just fine. It looks kind of cooler, actually. Yeah. But in theory, what they're showing you is you're now here instantly. And the opening trailer for it showed them going through a bunch of different portals into different worlds. And I think you're going to have that happen frequently in that game where you're going to walk through a thing and, like, there'll be no transition besides the fact you just walk through and you're in a whole different area that's now loaded instantly.
Yeah, like that little Ratchet and Clank trailer was just dev porn. It was like, oh, look what we can do. Oh, just.
I mean,
oh,
I
look
thought
at
it
this.
looked fun. Like, I'm excited for it.
Oh,
see,
it's the game I'm most excited for from seeing here. I love Ratchet and Clank. It's probably my favorite PlayStation franchise.
So, I do have to ask this question before I move forward.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think Lady Ratchet's name is?
I mean, it should be Ratchet as well because.
No, because she when he says Ratchet,
oh, she does go.
She goes like,
Ratchet. Who's that? Yeah.
Yeah. I think her name should be Socket.
That'd be a good name. I think her name should be Thought.
Really?
If he's Ratchet, she a Thought.
Really?
She ain't that thick though.
You right. I'm just saying, she breathes, she a Thought. So.
Wow.
I breathe, therefore I thought.
Exactly. Hey, it's okay. If he breathed, he a simp. So look, it works out both ways.
Ratchet is definitely a simp.
Yeah, I'm saying.
Even a question. First off, you hate that word. Now you're
I
the
do
one
hate
brought
that
it
word.
into the show.
I just had to be fair. I said that if she breathed, she had thought, so I had to be fair. And was like, if he breathed, he a simp. So I was just trying to be like fair with that one. But honestly, I will say, like, out of all the games that they've showed, it was the most obvious, like, PS5 game besides probably Horizon. Like, because the other ones was like, okay, this also looks like very much like a PS4 game. This one, with all the quick loading times and like showing how he's like running through people and stuff like that, I was like, okay, that's a PS5 game. This was made with PS5 in mind.
Well, I mean, one of those games we know for a fact was a PS4 game. The whatever, Ghostline Tokyo?
Ghostwire Tokyo?
Oh, Ghostwire Tokyo.
Like, that legit was announced for PS4 2 years ago?
That was the
So
Akumi
that-
one, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's not there anymore, though.
Yeah, she left and went to, I think, Capcom?
Did she? I don't know. I don't remember where, because she took a while to tour a lot of different studios, so I don't think I
Yeah.
missed where she landed.
Okay.
My thing with that was, did they announce that for last gen?
I'm pretty
I'm pretty sure
they
it was
did.
for last gen.
I know they announced it. I don't think they ever said what it was for.
Well, I'm not...
Because if there's no way it was just... I'm excited. I was excited for that game. So to me, there was no way it was announced for just for PS4, because I wouldn't have been that excited. And so is it... Because it is next-gen exclusive, at least timed on PS5.
Did they say it's timed?
They said we know it's an exclusive. It says it launches on next gen exclusively on PlayStation. Versus
okay.
Instead of saying exclusively for PlayStation 5, the wording is made it. They didn't say timed, but it was worded in a way that was like, oh, this probably isn't permanent.
Yeah.
I mean...
But
yeah.
do we know we're getting a PS4 and Xbox One version?
Well, from what I'm seeing on it, it says from Shinji Mikami and Team at Tango Gameworks comes Ghostwire Tokyo, a next-gen action-adventure game coming to consoles exclusively for PlayStation 5 in 2021. It says Ghostwire Tokyo will also be launching on PC.
Okay. Well, there you go.
Okay.
So it looks like it's just going to be PS5 and PC.
So that to me also then screams even more timed exclusive.
Yeah.
Because why wouldn't you then?
Yeah. Yeah, no, that game, well, we'll move on to that one anyway. So, yeah, Ghostwire Tokyo, it looks a lot different than I assumed it was going to be.
I totally
Well,
thought it was going to be third person.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it looks cool. Like, I like the idea of being able to use, like, the Taoist, like, styles?
Yeah,
Where you're
yeah.
using your hands to, like, try and seal things. I thought that was really cool.
Yeah.
Like, I kind of hope that at some point... I don't remember seeing it in the trailer, but it was a little while ago. Like, it'd be cool if you could see them, like, use, like, the little tags that you see, like, in different
Oh, yeah,
series.
the seals.
Like, that'd be
cool.
awesome.
I wouldn't be surprised if you don't see those. I think I don't know if... I don't think he used them, but I think seals do show up in one of the scenes.
Okay.
I think they were, like, there was a scene where... He's in an older style looking room, and they were like glowing on the walls. I thought I may be mistaken, but I could have swore there was something of the sort.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to tell. That was one of those shows that just kept flashing gameplay at you really
Yeah.
quickly. So
I'm just excited to see like all the yokai in action because it seemed like it's drawing a lot from a lot of different lore.
yeah,
I think that'd be pretty excited to see going forward.
yeah,
I'm excited to punch headless high school girls.
well, absolutely.
I mean, yeah.
And going on from speaking from punching ghouls, they announced. Well, I think it was already previously shown off just a little bit, but Resident Evil, a new Resident Evil game. Which what was it? Resident Evil
8?
Yeah, it's 8, but they had like a
Village.
subtitle to it.
Yeah,
Village.
it's Village.
Yep.
Village.
That's the reason why it's 8. And actually, that got leaked, I believe, yesterday because I saw it on Twitter.
No. That'd been leaked for I want to
Yeah,
say
it's-
a couple weeks now.
Okay, I just remember seeing seeing the Resident Evil Village, and then it had the highlight of the V and the 3-eye, and I was like, oh, okay, that's clever.
Yeah, I think it's a good way to kind of expand what they did the last one, since the last one basically took place all in one house, like a la like Resident Evil 1. This one looks like it's going to take place in a huge village, and you see cults, you see the weird creatures that were just running around everywhere. I'm assuming werewolves?
Yeah.
There's definitely a werewolf.
Yeah.
Werewolf was in the rumor, So, like, with the moment you saw that dude doing his thing, I was like, oh, he's werewolfing. He's
So-
wolfing
Yeah.
out.
So, question: did Chris Redfield look like John Goodman to you, or is that just me?
That's just...
I didn't see
He
John
looked like
Goodman.
He looked like John
I thought
Goodman
he
in that
looked
picture.
more like Chris Redfield from 5 than he did in 7.
7, yeah. But they changed his damn character design around so much now. It's weird.
Because they can't fucking make their mind up.
I know. And it's just, like, I'm interested to see what's going to be happening with it. Because he called the dude, I want to say he called the dude Ethan at the end. I don't remember what the name was. Ethan
That's
the
his
dude from
name.
Resident Evil 7?
Yes, Resident Evil 7, you play as Ethan.
Okay, so,
And you're
okay.
trying to get his wife, and then you get hit, like, spoilers for Resident Evil 7, you do get your wife back by the end, and the plot-wise, apparently, you all went to these mountains, and that scene with Chris, like, popping your wife is allegedly, like, right at the beginning of the game.
Yeah.
Because all that stuff, like, I'd read about all that before that trailer aired.
Okay.
So, like, part of the look and people talking about it beforehand were like, maybe that's not actually Chris, but after watching the trailer, that's definitely Chris. Like, that's not even a question.
Yeah.
How the trailer presents that's Chris.
Yeah. And so I wonder if Ethan's going to be your main protagonist, or maybe you'll switch off between Ethan and Chris.
I think you're gonna be Ethan. I think you're gonna be Ethan, and they'll do like 7, where maybe there's some DLC later where you play as Chris.
Yeah.
But I think Ethan is definitely their protagonist for this, because I think it's gonna be another first-person game, just like 7 was.
Yeah.
Part of a lot of the dialogue about the rumors for this was that it wasn't originally going to be called Resident Evil 8. It was originally, I think, billed as Resident Evil Revelations 3. It was still going to be the game it is, but they were going to have it be a part of the Revelations line, basically expanding on, I guess, what happened to Ethan and his wife and stuff from 7.
Right.
Hence, putting it in the Revelations line.
Yeah.
But apparently the game has tested really well in the playtests they've done, so they decided to make it the 8th Resident Evil because
I'm
of
glad.
that.
I'm glad. I'd much prefer it that way.
I don't know. Resident Evil Revelations doesn't get as much love as it probably does.
Oh no, you're right. Revelations, like, I didn't play the first one, but I played a little bit of Revelations 2, and that one was really good. And I watched like a full gameplay series of it, and that one was really, really good. So
I mean, I think Revelations is the reason the series went back to being more of a horror game. Revelations, like that first step going towards trying to be survival horror again.
yeah,
And then they went full on in with 7, but they obviously changed a lot with 7 too.
yeah. All right,
I'm
and-
excited.
Yeah, definitely excited. Definitely excited. The next big one would, because it's not for any of us, because I know none of us play this freaking series, but Demon Souls remake, which to me was kind of like, oh, that's random.
Not really. This game was also leaked a while back.
Was it?
Yeah,
Oh.
this
Yeah,
one,
like,
at least a year ago. I feel
Yeah.
like this one's been out there. Blue Point was teasing they were working on a popular PlayStation game, and through the teases people put together, that it was most likely Demon Souls. You had a lot of insiders come out and say it's Demon Souls, and lo and behold, we see it now. It's Demon Souls.
Yeah, I mean, it looks really good. So, like,
Yeah,
good
it
on
Looks
them.
gorgeous.
Yeah.
Like,
Still
I'm
not gonna
glad
play
it's
it,
like a legit remaster.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Remake even.
I've just never been a fan of the Soul series. I don't like.
I hate them.
Yeah. I'm along the same way. Like, when I play games, I want to have fun. Like, I'm not there anymore for the challenge. That was like stuff I would do when I was a kid. But now it's more like, if it's a little hard, hey, fine. Kick my ass, kill me like 20, 50 times. But I don't want to sit there and be killed by grunts like fucking like every 2 minutes and have to like run back. Like, it plays like the old Nintendo games, and that's fine. You lose your life, you might have to start back at the beginning of the game, but that's just not for me anymore. Walk me through.
It's called
Teach me, Daddy.
It's called Get Good.
Yeah, I'm not get good anymore.
We
I
are done
I am.
getting good. Scrubs.
Exactly.
We'll just stay as scrubs. Thank you.
Yep. Just take me in a scrub. Fuck that. Another cool one they showed off. I'd like to see a little bit more about it because I don't think they got any gameplay from it. Was Deathloop?
Yeah, that one looked cool.
Oh no, I think that was gameplay. I think that was supposed to be them showing gameplay.
Okay.
Like, there's no HUD, but I'm pretty sure because they showed a tone. This looked really. This was at like a lot of Bethesda's E3 from last year is shown up here. This was at Bethesda's E3 last year and looked cool as hell. But it was a tonal trailer. Didn't really give the gameplay. And then this here, I think this was straight up gameplay, which looked to me. Oh, what did I say, you fuzzy? It was like, oh shit. It's like. Something meets BioShock.
What, like Super Hot?
Kinda. Yeah. That wasn't what I said, but that's probably even better than what I said. I like the way the guns and everything looked and graphically, like tonally, looked like I think I said We Happy Few meets BioShock. Just
I could
like
see
the
that.
way everything came together.
Yeah.
The art style of We Happy Few really kind of, I could definitely see that.
Okay. Yeah, so here's why I got mixed up. Because there's 2 games they literally announced with
they have
with
the same
loops.
exact thing.
Yeah, with time loops. I was thinking of Returnal.
Oh, that game looked weird as shit.
Yeah.
I'm excited for that, but that game looks weird as shit. It was funny because I laughed because they showed it was House Marquee like right at the beginning.
Yeah.
And they had a PS4 launch game, which was Resogun, which was a cool, small little like arcadey type game.
Yeah.
And I said,
Resogun
"Oh,
was
cool!
the best
What
game on
what's
PS4 for like the first 3 months.
It was.
Yeah?" And I was like, "What little arcadey game are they launching with this time?" And then this trailer hits, and I was like, "Oh,
Yeah.
this is not a small little arcadey game.
No,
this
not
game
at
looks
all.
cool as hell."
Yeah. So, yeah, Returnal and Deathloop, 2 random games that decided to have like time loop like stories in them. Deathloop, yeah, watching that one looked really cool. I liked the overall tone of it. It seems like you're going to be kind of hunted throughout the game, and plus there's an antithesis character who's like also an assassin who's trying to kill you for most of it. I'm assuming they're like hunting you, maybe.
Yeah.
So I popped off about this. I think that's more than just an alternate character. I believe that can be another player.
That's what I was hoping when I saw it. That's what I was hoping.
I talked about it a bit on stream today, but I was telling Fuzzy actually. Perfect Dark on N64 is the only other game I can think of that had this, and is one of the coolest things I've ever seen, and it's just waiting for another game to try, and it never has. Perfect Dark had a mode called Counter Operative as a difference to co-op. Counter Operative was... Well, player 1 is playing as the main character, and they're playing through a campaign level like normal.
Yeah.
And the player 2, I think you could even do a 3 or 4, but I know for sure at least player 2, they spawned in the game as a random grunt that populates throughout the map.
Huh.
And they have less health. They only have the whatever that random grunt was going to have that you would have killed as an AI anyway. But then they're in the level trying to stop you from beating the level.
Yeah.
This seems like a much more full-fledged where you won't be a random grunt. You're going to be a very particular character with their own set of skills.
Yeah.
But it's that idea, and it's like taken like 15 plus years to get there.
Yeah.
To see someone try this thing again.
Yeah, because the last time I remember anything like this was, I want to say it was, what is that hacking? Watch Dogs. I want to say it was Watch Dogs 2.
Oh,
I
yeah.
think you could do something like that. You could jump in other people's games, but you'd be like a NPC.
I think that was the first Watch Dogs.
It
Was
was
the
the
first
first
one?
Watch Dogs.
Okay.
Yeah.
But what it was basically... It wasn't like it would never touch your. If you're in the middle of a campaign mission, it wouldn't happen.
Right.
But when you're in between stuff, you're just kind of in a multiplayer matchmaking kind of thing in the background.
Yeah.
And you could get something pop up where, oh, you need to go chase this dude, or vice versa. You get a thing saying, oh, this person's chasing you.
Yeah.
And that's that. This seems like it's much more the crux of the game is that you're going to have 2 players, one trying to kill the target, and the other trying to kill the player trying to kill the target.
Right.
And then they're like, your either objective is to kill the player or kill the target, and that's it.
Yeah.
Well,
At least from how it was presented.
Well, the only reason why I'm not sure if that's the case is because the way they made it seem is there's like, what do they say, 6 or 8 different people you have to kill
I think
in order
10.
to kill them.
Before then, they're like 10 before midnight or whatever.
Yeah, something like that. But I don't know. It just seems like that'd be like an 8-hour game at least in itself, because you're
Yeah.
dodging everybody else's bullshit too. So it would be kind of weird to have, like, I mean, I guess if it's an actual co-op game. Like,
That's what I said. I don't
like,
think it is going to be. I think it's going to be closer to that counter op where
Well, that's
if
what
you're
I'm saying,
playing
like-
as the chick, like you're just basically jumping into. But here's what I think. Because they pried it on a death loop, so there's going to be some kind of checkpoint system. I imagine where once you kill a certain target, that target's dead for you, and if you die, your loop is going to take you back to that point. I would imagine, then all the way back. But you basically, when I would, again, we don't, none of us know, but this is how I would make, if I were making this concept, it would be, when you get on the game, you're going to pick, am I going to play the story, or am I going to play as the chick? And if I'm playing as the chick, I'm just hopping into other people's games and trying to F their ass up.
Yeah.
Versus where if I'm playing the story, I just know that at any point, this human-controlled opponent could show up and fuck my shit up along with these AI I'm trying to blast.
Right. Yeah, I mean, it could just be, honestly, yeah, I could see it being either way. I could see maybe, it just being an option you can turn off, so you're just rolling around, and then maybe there's an AI version of it trying to kill you, and then, maybe you could turn it on, and it becomes like a, quote, multiplayer version of that same map that you would normally play, and it just kind of plays in its own self. Maybe not count towards the campaign, but maybe just be like its own self-contained little thing.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see, because, like, I don't know. I kind of want them to go full in on the concept, and I feel like if they start making concessions back, then I feel like it's not gonna be, like, that thing won't be to its full potential, because they won't focus on that part as much as it would need, because something like that would need to be balanced to high heaven.
Yeah.
And the moment you make it more optional is the moment you stop saying, well, we don't need to devote that much resources to balancing that mode, and it becomes a side thing, and then we don't see it again for a long time, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm pulling for this game for so many reasons. The art style looks amazing. If you consider both characters protagonists, 2 black protagonists, which, awesome. Like, I got excited about that back when they announced this game.
Yeah.
And it looked so stylish. Just, like, all the way that, like, when the aim down sights, when he was holding the 2 things, he just kind of, like, lined the guns up in front of him.
Yeah.
That looked cool as hell. I don't know. I'm excited for this game.
Yeah, no, the game definitely has, like really badass, like, No More Heroes vibes, and that's kind of what I get from it. So, yeah, very, very much looking forward to it, see more information. To go into the other one we were talking about, Returnal, just super weird trailer about this astronaut lady who was she was on her ship. Apparently the ship crashes into an island planet. She goes to explore the planet. Somehow she dies, and then she wakes up on the ship, which crashes into the planet, goes and explores the planet, which apparently looks completely different now, dies, goes back on the ship, and then it basically just keeps happening over and over again.
Yeah, it's like that Tom Cruise movie that's based off that manga.
All you need is kill?
Yeah, but it's like that, but like way more fucking twisted.
Yeah.
So what I said on stream, and Fuzzy added to it, I said, oh, it's like Sci-Fi ReZero. And he responded, yeah, but with less waifus.
Far less waifus.
You don't know that.
Well, my response to him, I was like, potentially more. The main character's already a waifu.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't know that little spider thing that gets her. Or maybe the big creepy thing that gets her.
I don't think we should be trying to have sex with the little spider thing.
Why not?
It's because you hate spiders. You're prejudicing the spiders.
You're absolutely right. Every time I see like people with their monster girls and I see like a spider web, I'm like, you're fucking disgusting. I'd set it on fire.
So for the one thing, like one of my favorite games from last gen was Prey, which we were talking about an arcane game just before. But I loved Prey. One of my favorite games from I don't think it's one of the best. But if you were to ask me to be like, oh, what's a game I should play last gen that I didn't play? I'd be like, Prey. For the love of God, Prey. And tonally and like the way all the sci-fi stuff is presented I got like heavy Prey feelings from this. To the point where if they didn't say House Marquee right off the jump, I would have been like, is this Prey? Is this a Prey sequel? Please tell me it's a Prey sequel.
Yeah.
They were smart to not tease me like that because I would have been upset at the end. And instead I get to know off the jump. But this looks cool. This is what I'm excited for. This one, I believe, is exclusive.
Oh, I mean, that wouldn't surprise me. The way it looked, I would imagine that's probably exclusive.
House Marquee, while not owned by Sony, I believe has done a lot of exclusive work for them, so I wouldn't be surprised if this is exclusive. But I think this is one they said before. Could be mistaken, but I think it is.
Yeah, I don't see anything about it being exclusive yet, but I mean, we'll see. All right, so then after that one, I know they played a very... I couldn't get exactly what was happening. It was a very Fortnite-looking game with Destruction All-Stars.
Yeah, you know what? I think my list I'm looking at missed Destruction All-Stars. That game was weird as heck.
Yeah.
It kind of reminded
Shame
me
on
of
them.
like BattleBots meets like Twisted Metal.
See, yeah, I kind of got that. I was thinking like Fortnite meets Rocket League in a weird way.
See, mine that I went with was Demolition Derby meets what's the fucking game that Bleeding Edge. Because Bleeding Edge has this weird, colorful action melee multiplayer game, and then except now you have the car combat because there's stuff you're doing out of cars.
Yeah.
And so now you have the car combat, but the car combat looked to be all like there were some weapons, but it almost looked all to be like physical contact based.
Yeah.
Which definitely heavy like Destruction Derby elements there.
Yeah.
Classic PlayStation 1 series.
Yeah, I'm hoping, like, just from looking at it, I'm assuming, and this is just a full assumption, it's probably going to be free to play. Because
it might be like a $20 game.
it
I
could
could
be
a cheaper thing.
Yeah, it's got to be real cheap, though. I'd imagine it's probably going to be free to play with a crap ton of DLC. That's the kind of game it looks like to me when I was just
Or it
looking
could
at
be
it.
like the first month's
PlayStation Plus.
Yeah, I could definitely see
I
that
see
too.
that being probably where it's like a $20 game, but if you have PlayStation Plus, it's included.
Yeah.
I think like
Rocket League?
Resogun.
Yeah, and Rocket League. Rocket League was, what, it's 2 months into PlayStation?
It was early.
Yeah, it was
Was
really
it
early.
that early? I
It
didn't think
was... It might not have been
Pretty
that
sure.
early, but it was really early in the
We
PS4.
were at the townhouse when it came out.
No, it was
easily
before
first
that.
6 months.
Was it?
Before, yeah, we
No,
played it.
no,
We played a lot at Chelsea's house.
Oh shit! Really?
Yeah.
You're right. It was.
Yeah, I was about to say I definitely remember playing against Trippy at Chelsea's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Another big game because it just kind of came out of nowhere. Well, unless y'all saw like rumors for it before, but Sackboy, A Big Adventure.
I'm actually excited for that one. I was like, oh, that's cool.
I just really don't know why it wasn't another Little Big Planet. Like,
Because
So-
they just made Dreams. They just
So-
spent like the entire
yeah,
console
but this is
generation on
literally
Dreams.
just a dungeon crawling.
It's a platformer game.
It's a platformer. I'll play it. I don't get me wrong. I'll play it. My whole entire time watching this, and
Yeah.
I said this on stream. I was going, and then this trailer ends, and they go, "It's gonna be Sackboy: A Big Adventure, made in Dreams on PS5." Like,
Yeah.
like to me, it was like, oh, that's what this could be. Because I was like, none of the, like, Dreams is a really fucking cool tool. I was like, this doesn't seem that far fetched that the people who made Dreams could make this in Dreams. But it's not. It's just its own standalone thing, which, okay.
I mean, it's a Little Big Planet game, so the main selling point behind it is literally all the different costumes you can put on your characters and stuff. So that'll be why people get
But
it.
the thing with
play
Little
with
Big
their
Planet was
friends.
making your, like, the Big Planet thing was making your own shit.
Yeah, making your own shit and playing with
This
your friends.
isn't, I imagine this isn't going to have that.
No, definitely not going to have. I think that's why they didn't straight up call it Little Big Planet, because you're not going to have like a lot of the creation aspect of it, but you'll still be able to do like the co-op with your friends.
Yeah.
Let me say that. Oh, go ahead, Jay.
I was gonna say this is basically this generation's Knack.
Yes. Well, I actually think Ratchet and Clank is.
How fucking dare you put Knack in the same league as?
No, here's what I mean. You said it yourself earlier. Ratchet showed off, like, this is look at all this cool stuff you can do on this new system. That was the whole point of Knack. That it was a game that was like, look at what you can do on the PS4.
Yeah.
That's what I mean by that. I think Ratchet and Clank is years and tiers above Knack.
Yeah.
This, my big reaction to the game was, I think Sackboy is a great fucking name for a character. It is a horrible name for a video game.
Yeah, it's not great. It's
Mom,
definitely
can
not
I
great.
get Sackboy?
Yeah.
I mean, I'd get my kid Sackboy.
Stop it.
Ugh. Please don't say that. It doesn't sound good.
What? You wouldn't give your kid some Sackboy?
No. Not when you're
God.
saying it like that.
I don't know.
Like if somebody was like, "Hey, you want to get your kid some Sackboy?" like that, I'd be like, "Yeah, no,
I didn't-
get away from me,
I didn't
please."
say it like that at all. Y'all are just being perverts.
I don't think we are.
100% said it like that.
I
That
did.
last
That's
time you
it.
absolutely did.
Yeah, you
Y'all-
sounded a bit
y'all are just
suspicious.
being-
That's all I'm
y'all just
saying.
being really weird.
I don't think so.
I don't appreciate y'all's lack of respect for Sackboy.
Stop it. So then they had Project Athia.
Which is probably one of the ones that I was most excited for, and they showed nothing of it.
Yeah.
I was
So-
like, dude, she's like controlling vines and shit. That looks cool as hell. Oh, it's
Thi-
over.
This is the other game I would put in there as, hey, this shows what you can do on this system, and this game shows it so well that this is not a game we'll see within the next 3 years.
You think so?
It's Square Enix.
Yeah.
Fair enough. You know what? That is what Square is known for.
Yep.
So
The game
And
is
some-
Yeah.
freaking insanely gorgeous.
So the other thing to talk about this in Square Enix is it was heavily rumored, and it's been talked about since that like a lot of insiders saying yes, that this was supposed to be showed and it was pulled, was that we were supposed to see Final Fantasy 16,
really,
and it got pulled, and we don't know why, but it was originally part of this presentation.
I didn't
so-
even realize they were working on 16.
Well, I mean, what else do you think they're working on?
Well, Final Fantasy VII Part 2, as well as, finding a way to port Final Fantasy 14? Is that the MMO?
Yeah.
Porting Final Fantasy 14 to PS5 and Xbox
Yeah.
Series X.
Yep.
Uh,
So I figured those
Are they
were the two
making
major
any
things they
more,
were probably working
Are they
on.
making any more Tomb Raiders?
I'm sure they will.
Yeah, but that's not Square. Like, that's Square Enix as a publisher. That's Crystal Dynamics and I forget the smaller studio that worked on Shadows. But Crystal Dynamics is doing Avengers right now. So
Yeah, and they did show the new Hitman, too. Well,
Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
that
Yes.
that was one of 2 games left that I like really popped for.
Yeah, that one. That was literally one of the ones when I was watching it. Like, it took 2 seconds into the trailer, and I was like, "Hitman, Hitman!"
Yep.
And I was just like, "Yeah, man."
I did the same thing in the
Yes.
stream. I was like, "Is this Hitman?"
Yeah, dude, man, because I put so many hours into freaking Hitman 1 and 2, so I am really looking forward to this one.
This is one where like you just saw, like, you could see, like, oh, you see everything that's next gen is allowing how this thing to look better, because it doesn't look different from Hitman 1 and 2. It just looks better than Hitman 1
Yeah.
and 2, if you get what I'm saying.
Yep.
Like, there's nothing, like, they kept the same art style and everything's the same, but now you like all these reflections and everything that just looks stellar. The way the light's hitting off everything with ray tracing, like, this game looked
Yeah,
magnificent.
yeah.
So, what do you think? They do a fucking remaster trilogy?
I could see them
And bring
doing
all
that.
3 of them together?
So probably because what they did with two, if you had owned 1, all the missions from 1 imported
Yeah.
into 2 with the graphical enhancements that happened in 2.
Yeah, which is pretty cool. That's like one of the probably the only game that's done something similar to that. I'm trying to think if there's another game that like straight up just was like, "Hey, you got the first one here. Get everything from the first one, and we upgraded it for you."
Rock Band.
Fair enough.
Very different. I would
right.
argue, but
Yeah.
yes, I agree. There aren't many games that have done anything like this. Expect like they did with that, and it went pretty unheralded that they
Yeah.
did it, which I think is unfair because it is
Oh, yeah.
such a phenomenal game, and I don't like stealth. I hate stealth games, and Hitman is so much fun to play.
Oh yeah, it's because there's so many ways you can do it. I mean, it's like one of the things I didn't like about the game Dishonored when it came out was because it was like, hey, you can go stealth or you can go run and gun. Guess what? You can't do that in Dishonored because you get shot twice and you're dead.
Not to mention, the more you kill in Dishonored, the more powerful everybody else gets.
Yeah,
The game definitely discourages that play style.
But
yeah,
the shitty
but
thing
they
is they promoted it as a game that you could play
Exactly.
it however you want.
exactly, which was garbage. Which Hitman though, if you know what you're doing, you know how to like actually get around corners and shit, and you get the right gear and stuff. Oh yeah, you could destroy a level. Like, and that's one of the super fun aspects of it. It's like you can be super sneaky. You could just literally poison something and just freaking go all across the map and do something else, and that person will die like 5 minutes later because it's just where they happen to go. And or you could just be like, yeah, I'm just gonna walk in this room and shoot this guy in the face, and then I'll kill all his security, and then I'll escape. Come at me.
I will say my only disappointment in that Hitman 3 trailer, when he put that earpiece in, that he didn't fucking talk. He didn't say anything. I wanted to hear his damn voice.
Yeah.
He's one of those people like Master Chief who doesn't talk a lot, but I always get super hyped when they talk.
Yeah.
And I was like totally waiting. I was like, the moment I was like, oh, here it comes. Earpiece goes in, and then someone else says something, and that's the end of the trailer. I was like, what?
Yeah. No, I'm super excited for this one. It's they said it's gonna finish that trilogy, so it's gonna like complete that story, and I assume they'll make another one. They'll go into a whole new story. So
yeah, really I wonder. I imagine they'll take a break and do something else in between.
Oh yeah, yeah. Another big game they announced. Not a game I've played since like literally PS1. I was just never really into it, but the Oddworld series is getting a new game, Oddworld Soulstorm.
Yes. That I thought was really interesting because I was not. When I realized it was Oddworld, I started going, oh, please be Stranger's Wrath. Please be a sequel to Stranger's Wrath. It's my favorite Oddworld game. I was like, please be a sequel to Stranger's Wrath. And then it wasn't. I thought it was cool that it's not a remake. Like, it is a continuation of the Oddworld story, of Abe's story. And I thought the gameplay looked cool from what they showed. It looked to have like a Lemmings mixed with almost like a base building kind of like not like a Minecraft or No Man's Sky base building, but like a resource management kind of like build your almost, I don't want to say tower defense, but something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd
be interested
weird
to see what it does.
Yeah, it's I guess one of the things that's kind of weird to me is like out of all the random PS1 mascots that have survived this long, that Oddworld and Abe are one of them. Like, I would have never assumed that they would still be going at this point.
Well, like, even funnier is you got to remember Xbox original had one of their big things was getting an Oddworld game.
Yeah.
And like, I feel like Stranger's Wrath was like the last big one. Then we had the remake.
Yeah.
And then I feel like, has there been anything else Oddworld since then?
I don't know. That's what
I'm not sure. I mean, I remember there being like an Oddworld thing a couple years ago, but that might be the remake.
I think that was the remake because that was like early. But see, I don't know. That was pretty early PS4.
Was it early PS4?
The first couple within the first 3 years of PS4.
Yeah.
Because it was a PlayStation Plus game at one point, and there were only so many points in play during the PS4 that I had PlayStation Plus, and one of those times would have been the first year.
Yeah, you're right. It literally came out the second year of PS4 was out. It came out in July 2014. Oddworld New and Tasty.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah, so there's literally not been a thing in the Oddworld. Like, okay, so yeah, there was Oddworld, Oddworld for the PlayStation, Abe's Odyssey. Then they put out Abe's Exodus. Then there was a bunch of like, Game Boy ones. Then they did Munch's Odyssey, which also came out on the Xbox. That ended up coming out on Xbox later, though. Then they put out Stranger's Wrath, and that was in 2005. And then they didn't come out with the new one until New and Tasty in 2014.
Damn. And then 6 years later, they get this?
Yeah.
That's wild, because I remember, I don't think Oddworld Inhabitants was the company. I think they made that company to make the remake and then do more Oddworld stuff.
Yeah.
Maybe Stranger's Wrath was under that development title as well, but I don't think so.
No, it was literally supposed to be, like, I'm maybe looking at it right now, it was supposed to be an Oddworld Stranger's Wrath 2. They announced it on their website in January 2013, and then just nothing.
I'll put that up there with Clay Fighter Call of Putty.
Yeah. Dude.
Games I'll never get that probably, I mean, one of those would have been bad, Clay Fighter, but I wanted it.
So, what was that one Xbox game? It was like original Xbox. Was it Beyond Good and Evil?
Yes.
Weren't we supposed to be getting a sequel to that?
We technically are. Functionally,
so.
you would. I imagine you would have had people get a behind closed doors look at that this year at E3.
Yeah, because I was just saying that they announced that they announced that the same year they announced Final Fantasy VII, didn't they?
They've announced that they announced and have re-announced that game, and functionally, you can't. Honestly, you have to ignore the first announcement because that was them like, "Hey, we're gonna make this," and then they didn't, and then they were like, "Oh, you know what? We should probably make that," and then they announced it again.
Yeah.
Like, was it last year that they had the big campaign where they're like, "Hey, if you're an artist
GGL.
or anything like that, you know, go to this website. You could have your like art be put on like the walls, or if you do music, we could throw your music in the game."
Yeah, do work on spec, and maybe you'll get paid.
Yep.
I mean, the idea is cool.
It is neat in theory, but what it is, it's spec work, but you're not even guaranteed, like, you know what I'm saying? There's no guarantee you're going to get money for doing the work you just did. And then you don't even own your work.
I mean,
Yeah, so
fair enough.
They
but
announced it in 2017 at that E3.
That was the re-announcement?
Yeah.
When was the original? I feel like that was like 15 or 14. Because they had that trailer with like them in the desert.
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, I do remember that.
Versus the trailer we saw later, which was like the monkey flying a like X-Wing-esque thing in space.
Yeah.
And like weird not Sith lady doing weird stuff.
Yeah, so everything started for it in 2016. 2016, and then E3 was like the big trailer. 2017. Yeah. So, I don't know, man. It's, I guess, it's just weird seeing so many, like, franchises still survive after all this time. You know, especially Beyond Good and Evil. Like, I know that was one of the most acclaimed games that was on the original Xbox. But it just seems like, man, so much time later, and it's getting ready to come out. And at this point, I mean, I don't understand what would even be the point with nothing announced for it, no new trailers for it to even come out on the Xbox current console. So it's obviously coming out for the Series X. But I wonder if it's going to be like a whole The Last Guardian thing where it's like, oh yeah, The Last Guardian's finally coming out, but, you know, no one cares anymore.
I mean, to be fair, Beyond Good and Evil looks like it's going to be much more of a game than Last Guardian. Like, Last Guardian was like a platformer that lasted probably, 10 hours?
That's because Last Guardian just became a meme at that. You know, it became a meme of them just talking about, oh, you're going to talk about The Last Guardian again, and then people finally started demanding for it just to demand for it, and then it finally came out, and people were like, oh, they actually did it. Fuck.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's one of those things where they let that studio do whatever the hell they want to do.
I mean, yeah.
And for better or for worse.
Yeah. Other big game, probably one of their biggest ones, because it's like probably one of their biggest exclusives right now, Horizon Zero Dawn 2 Forbidden West.
I figured you would have ended with this, like they did.
Is there any more?
Yes.
Yeah! Oh, yeah!
I mean, there's a lot of, like,
Stray.
Okay, Cat Game, yes, Cat Game.
Cat Game looks great.
Cat Game did look pretty good.
I'm excited about Cat Game.
Pro Magna game that you just fucking went by.
Which one?
Go down. That's the one with
the
one that
Pragmata.
actually made me think of Big Daddy. Because he had like the 3D printer on the back of him with
that
the logo.
made me
You mean
think,
BioShock meets what was that? Freaking
I was gonna say Death Stranding. I
Yeah,
totally
yeah.
thought that was gonna
Yeah.
be Death
Yeah.
Stranding 2. I was like, there's no way they're announcing Death Stranding 2 this early.
yeah.
Yeah.
That shoot and everything looked similar to like the shit in that game.
agree.
The way that thing came off his back, and then
Oh,
the
yeah,
little
dude.
girl, I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was mad.
I have
Death
no
Stranding
idea what the
feel.
hell that game is supposed to be, but
Yeah.
I was like, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
Another one I don't want slept on. Two actually. Jet the Far Shore, the Super Brothers game. That was the one that they showed, like you saw, like humanity, like get in a rocket and like go off into space, and it was like count down the years.
Yeah.
And it looks like it's gonna be a weird like space survival exploration kind of game. I thought that
So-
looked cool as heck.
So here's my thing with that, and it's just my unpopular opinion, and it's whatever. When I see games like that, it's the whole literal Journey or No Man's Sky thing with both those games. It's like, I know people love those games. They like No Man's Sky, once it like got upgraded, people still talk about it, you know, how actually good it is now. And it's like, I don't like volume games. Like, I don't want a game that I'm just going to go around and explore empty space, or it's all quiet and the music is supposed to be my ambience and stuff like that. So that's why kind of when I saw Jet, I was just like,
Oh, see, for me, part of the reason I think this is like the thing for me that's going to be different about this is I think there'll be a conclusion point to the game versus something like No Man's Sky where you just go on forever. This one looked like it was going to have like. It seemed like it was building towards something, and you're actually out there looking for something versus just looking. But yeah, the other game, actually, again, there's a couple more. But the other one I got excited about, Bug Snacks. Best song of the whole thing. Yeah, this game looked adorable.
Really?
Oh, Jay,
Bug Snacks.
You gotta be. Jay's on my side on this one, right? Oh, come on. It's from the people who made Octodad.
I know.
Yeah.
And there's a fucking burger beetle, there's a strawberry bug, and then fucking adorable.
That game looked like a whole 10 minutes of entertainment. Where you're just like, oh, you can do this? That's cool.
I agree. Like, that's like a game I would play, like, if we were going to stream it, like, once.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
It looked cute. Like, I think it's a cute game.
I think there's places for games like that. Octodad, I thought, like, that's a game I'd sit down and play once or twice, and I've had fun with it, but I was worth my $10.
Yeah.
I'd go to the movies and spend more money than that and get less time out of something.
Bug Snacks is something that I could see being played once it shows up for free on PlayStation Plus.
That theme song they did was great.
Okay, it's not better than the Octodad theme song, so...
It's not, but it was the best song of
to be fair,
the whole dang conference.
The Octodad theme song was molested into our ears because
we worked at GameStop and it played every freaking 10 minutes.
But the game that I want to point out that needs to be spoken about was Pikmin for the fucking PS5. Because Kenna Bridge of Spirits looked great. I thought it looked really cute. The little Pikmin dudes, the little fuzzy dudes, I was like, oh my god, they're adorable. And like shooting the bow and everything, it's like, this game looks cool. I want to play this game. Like, that's probably the one that I was one of the games I was most excited for, to be perfectly honest.
So I'm glad it wasn't just me, because when it first started and I saw those things, I was like, oh shit, these are going to be like Minions. And then once the gameplay hit, I instantly was like, oh shit, no, they're Pikmin!
Yeah.
Oh yeah. But
Those
I think it looks cute.
Straight
I was
up.
like, yeah, 100%. I'm all about. Plus, like seeing the character use like the bow and everything, and you had like the Pikmin dudes like holding him in place. I was like, all right, this kind of looks cool. I wonder how the different ways you can use them is.
So to be super reductive, the way I would start describing that game, it's Ori meets Pikmin, because like thematically and everything, like I totally thought Ori. I was like, oh, okay, this is cool.
You say Ori, but see, the whole thing that got me was because the two guys that introduced it, they said, they usually worked on they worked for an animation company beforehand. So the first thing that, like, when I saw the character designs and everything like that, I was like, Kubo and the Two Strings or whatever it's called.
I can see that.
It just definitely had those Kubo vibes.
The main character.
Yeah, so it just seemed like Kubo meets like Pikmin to me.
Either way, it's cute. I'm all about that life. I'll pick it up.
And the one other thing, and it's perfectly 100% like, it's not a next-gen conference without this. Next-gen means sportsmen covered in sweat. It's not a next-gen conference unless you see a sweaty man playing sports, and he's sweatier than last generation.
Yeah.
And god damn it, did we not get that?
Look. Zion was sweaty as shit.
I fucking literally, like, it starts up, he's introducing it, I go, oh shit, Fuzzy, get ready, it's sweat time. Yeah. And like 2 frames later, like, big shot of his chest before you even see his face.
Yeah.
Of just drenched in sweat. And I was like, there it is. Sweat.
They gotta get their sweaty men out, man. Like, you know how it is.
Yeah.
It's not next gen if there's no sweaty men.
Yeah.
But I'm also going to point out, because Terrence had stopped on this. I don't know if he was actually going to talk about it.
Oh, I am.
Because
I fully am.
Because Goodbye Volcano High baffled the fuck out of me.
Oh my god, I can't believe I forgot that.
I remember watching the trailer. I was like, "Is this
Is this
what?
Beastars?
That's literally what went through. I was like, "Wait, are they all like halfway through the trailer?" I'm like, "Wait, are they all dinosaurs?"
Yeah,
And then you see the yearbook that says "Goodbye Volcano High." I'm like, "There's a meteor, dude! Oh my god,
Yeah.
this is Apocalypse! The fucking what is this?"
absolutely an apocalyptic freaking dinosaur game, which is like looks like it plays like a visual novel from the way they showed it.
I'm like,
So-
why is a visual novel on your PS5?
Right.
Like, what is this?
Again, to be reductive, it's Scaly Degrassi.
You said
It's what it
Scaly
is.
Degrassi.
It's all because it's all fucking pulpy ass high school drama, but
Oh, yeah.
I'm 100% about it.
Look, I'm just saying.
Like literally,
If-
like they were like this
if a
character
freaking-
likes this character, but this character likes this character, and this character like oh shit, I'm ready for
I'm
this.
just saying. If Drake rolls up in a damn wheelchair, I'm out.
I mean,
Nah,
I'm in.
it's gonna be Tara Drake Doll, and he's gonna fucking roll up, and his
Stop
wings
it.
aren't working.
Oh god.
You're hurting me now. You are literally hurting me with your words.
Oh.
Like watching it, I just started getting like mad. What was it, Night in the Woods? Is that what the game's
Oh,
called?
yeah.
I started getting mad vibes from that game. But that game, a lot of people loved it. I never got to like fully play it or anything like that. But this one just seemed like out of all the games and everything they showed, it seemed so out of place
Yeah.
because it was just like, why?
Because
the
it's like
reason I loved it.
because it's straight up like an indie game that would be on any console. Like I could play that on the fucking Switch.
Yeah, absolutely.
In fact, I probably will play it on the Switch.
See,
Just-
like the thing that got me about that was like I don't care what the gameplay is. I'm gonna play that game. Like I don't like. It's one of those games
Stop
where
it.
like I'd like it. It'll be so like I don't know that kind of drama I'm like craving right now, and I'm so ready for when that game comes out. And it might be a visual novel. It could be some weird puzzle game. It's gonna be something, but I don't care. It could be a third-person hack and slash. I'm gonna play my way through whatever the hell it is, so I can
I would be
see
no good if
these
it's a third-person
angsty ass
hack and slash.
dinosaurs.
I
would love it if it's a hack and
it was.
slash.
I would be no good if it's just like another Dynasty Warriors game, but they just don't say anything about it. Just you pick up the game, it just turns into a straight Muso.
Nah, see, here's what it's gonna be. It's gonna be made in conjunction with Sony San Diego, and it's gonna be a baseball simulator, but with it, and then you have this high school drama shit on the side.
Oh, that'd be funny as hell. Especially since Sony's basically being forced into making the show for Xbox One now, or Xbox now.
Yeah,
What is
Xbox
it?
and PC.
Yeah, what is it, next year
And
that's supposed to
Switch.
go into place?
Yep. Mm-hmm. I'm
Well,
very
I mean,
excited.
there's literally no more baseball games on
I
the
mean,
freaking Xbox.
I get
so
it, but it was just funny how they're like, they kind of got forced into
RBI
it.
and Super Mega.
Stop it. I'm talking about good
Super
baseball
Mega
games.
is a YouTube channel.
Super Mega. is
Super
a
Mega
channel.
Baseball.
Super. What was it? What was that one game? Was it Super Ninja Baseball Batman?
What?
What?
It's like a Japanese game, but it's just literally a baseball game. But it's called like Super Ninja Baseball Batman.
I know about
I
Batman.
think you had a
since they
fever
did Rai.
dream.
No, it's a real game. It
Nah,
just
you
has like
ha-
the weirdest freaking name ever.
You were like half awake and heard someone having a conversation, and you took like 4 words and built a dream around it, and it was for some weird ass
Nope.
video game.
Nope. It
about
was
Dream
Super Ninja Baseball Batman. And I found it on Wikipedia. Proof. I just want to prove that I'm not a
Sure
crazy
as fuck
person.
is Ninja Baseball Batman.
Yes.
I'm assuming this was not officially licensed. Is
No,
it
it's a
baseball
straight up game.
Bat Spaceman?
No, it's Ninja Baseball Batman. It's just the bat. Yeah, Bat Space Man.
Okay, but it's not Batman.
No. It's just that when you say it, it's great. So, but yeah, apparently the reason why they even named it that is because, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and Batman were big at the time, so they named it that.
Hold
Just so
the
they could
fuck
sell their
up.
baseball game.
Hold the fuck up. Hold the fuck up.
Yes.
Because I was looking at stuff on my phone for a second, I went on Facebook just to see something, and in spring of 2021, Shaman King is coming back, the anime.
Why?
There is a trailer for it.
Why are they bringing back these dead Shonen Jump shows that no one cared about enough for them not even to finish the proper way?
Oh
Shaman
my
They
King
god!
gotta finish it.
I'm assuming that they're going to just go through all the way to the end.
It's a
Is it a or is it remake, or is it just picking up where it left off?
It doesn't really. Say.
I would imagine at this point it has to be a remake. I mean, the original one ended what in like 06?
Yeah, something like that.
No, yeah, it was before that. It ended before we were out of school, I want to say.
Yeah.
So
This is
yeah.
just something that hits me and goes right like. Whoosh.
Oh, you never watched any of Shaman King?
No.
You ain't watched the Fox box, dude?
No.
You're a monster.
You're a real
And
monster.
I had bounced off of Fox, I think, by the time the Point Shaman King and stuff was on there.
What?
Yeah.
I mean, you bounced off of Fox. You should have been on Fox.
Nah,
Yeah.
pretty much as soon as I got Cartoon Network, I stopped watching anything else.
You're a nerd.
See, your generation is the reason why Saturday morning cartoons died. Okay,
Yeah.
Because we had cartoons all day, bruh.
Yeah, but we had good stuff.
that's
on
what I'm
weekends,
saying.
Too.
That's how we watched Yu-Gi-Oh, man.
That's how you watched fucking Cubit.
Yeah, I watched
how you
Yu-Gi-Oh!
watch
there
Jackie-
too for a bit, and then I stopped watching.
Dude, Jackie Chan Adventures.
Yeah, but guess what? Here's the best thing about you saying that. My generation got to watch those on weekdays on Cartoon fucking Network.
You
Eventually.
ruined Saturdays.
Right, we made every day of the week better. And then
No,
on Saturday, we
no.
could play video games and shit instead of
Saturdays
watching
used to be
TV.
special. Saturdays used to be sacred day, and you ruined it.
Bro, I gotta go play soccer on Saturday morning. I don't got
Wow.
time.
Jobber.
You had to go to
For-
Yacht Club.
Yeah,
No.
Yeah,
had
whatever.
to
You had
go
Yacht
sailing
Club.
away. Were you listening to
Yacht Club was during the week.
Were you listening
And
to
also
Sticks?
pre me having Cartoon Network.
But were you listening to Sticks when you were on the yacht?
No, I didn't want to be there.
Why not?
Because
To
I
a shame
hated
of your
being
privilege?
outside.
Are there
So
any
you were
more
okay
of these
with-
other goddamn games y'all want to talk about before we get to the good one? Y'all want to talk about
Then
Little
the
Devil
good
Inside?
one's the only one left. We got them
Oh,
all.
okay. No, I was gonna say you want to talk about Little Devil Inside, the one with the
Uh,
dude like pooping on the toilet.
To be fair,
no,
that was
because
interesting.
I
Was
don't know
it?
what to say about it. Yeah, it looked
Yeah.
weird, but I got nothing for you on that one.
Yeah.
Want to talk about Solar Ash by the people who made Hyper Light Drifter?
Yes, that looked cool.
It
That's
did,
about all
just
I
like
got.
Hyper
I
Light
liked
Drifter.
Hyper Light Drifter a lot, so I'm excited to see more of that. It looked cool, but there wasn't a lot there to talk about, really.
Yeah.
Okay, I think now we have covered literally everything. So
Oh
Now-
wait, hold on. We didn't
Like
cover
a
everything.
Waffle House.
We didn't cover
hash
what?
browns.
We didn't cover everything.
what didn't we cover?
There's gonna be a remote control, a media
Shut
remote.
up!
Yeah,
Shut up!
yeah.
Shut
There's
up!
going
Shut
to
up!
be
Shut up!
a docking
headset.
station for.
Oh yeah, they're doing a new playroom. There we go.
Oh, yeah.
Oh shit! There you
To be
go.
fair, I think that playroom is going to be basically playroom, but without the headset.
Yeah,
VR.
but Playroom is just an excuse to be like, hey, this is all the cool things our
that's
controller
no,
can
actually
do.
a
Playroom
game.
originally didn't have. Yeah, Playroom didn't have a VR originally.
No.
Astro-
No, it didn't have the VR originally. What I'm saying is Playroom was literally just it was basically just a big ass tech demo.
Well,
Yeah.
Astrobot got his own game that was like a VR
Yeah,
game.
that-
Yeah,
was
he
VR.
did.
Yeah, but this is like that game, but like it's not going to be VR.
Yeah, all this is literally
no,
just
I don't
like
think this is going to be a game. I think this is going to be like the Playroom was. It's going to be a tech
Oh.
demo.
yeah, it's like because I remember with the original one of the features was like, hey, you can make all the people hop into your controller. Then when you turned your controller, you could feel them like
Yeah.
falling to one side or the other side and stuff like that. Which,
think that's part-
you know,
I think part of the reason too they showed it right after the boot screen. I think it's going to be a pack-in.
yeah,
And it's going to come with every PlayStation.
Oh.
I'd imagine. I would imagine. I can't
Because
see
it looked very like minigame compilation-y, kind of like here's a thing where you do one thing and it shows off this part of how this controller, these cool controller features we added, or
exactly.
these cool new things that you can only do because it's a PlayStation 5 kind of thing. It's 100% going to be tech demo, pack in, show you why your new thing you got is cool,
Yeah, that's exactly what the
fair
like
first
the
one
original
was.
Playroom.
Yeah, so that's
I don't
what
trust
imagine
this
it's gonna
game, Trip.
be. Godfall.
I don't trust this game at all.
Oh, that one's not worth talking about. That game's been shown already. Bleh.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just gonna say I don't trust it because it's an odd game. It's It is a Gearbox game that came out right after a Borderlands game, so this game will be
Published.
shit.
Oh yeah.
No, it's just published. Gearbox didn't make it. They published.
So every game that's published by Gearbox that is not Borderlands is, generally speaking,
Garbage?
You have a 98% chance of it being shit.
He's not lying.
Well, I wouldn't say that. I'd say their games, yeah, sure. If it's a Gearbox made game that's not Borderlands, it's shit. I'm not gonna put that on another developer.
I will.
I'm just gonna say it like
Personally, I don't think the game's gonna be all that great, but I'm not saying
I don't trust it. Is what I'm saying. It could be good. I hope it's good. I hope it's grand. I hope it's a swell grand time. Will I buy it? Not until someone else plays it that I trust.
Yeah.
So
fair
Terrence,
enough.
you better buy that.
Yeah. No. You better hope Gerard gets it. Yeah. All right. Moving on. Because I'm sitting here just looking at Aloy, so I just want to be like, we gotta move
go ahead
on.
and talk. I really don't have much for you. I haven't played the first one, so y'all go ahead and talk this one up.
Okay, well, Horizon Zero Dawn 2 Forbidden West. I did not finish Horizon Zero Dawn, but it was I had a lot of fun while I was playing it. The only reason that I didn't beat it is because I had just come off the heels of playing Assassin's Creed Odyssey, so I was kind of done with the massive open world aspect of the game, like, shortly afterward. I managed to get like 30 hours into it. It was just, kept getting distracted by doing the side stuff, and then the map started opening up even more and more, and I was like, another day. But
Now you're playing Super Robot Wars.
yeah, now I'm playing Super Robot Wars because I can handle a long RPG. I just wasn't ready for another open world game.
Do you think you'll go back and play it before this comes out?
Absolutely. Because this was one of those games where, like, the story, while it has a story, a solid story, it's not a story that's far too complex to, like, that'd be like, if you put it down, it's like, oh, I got to start over from the beginning again. No, it's like, no, just you pick it up, stop the corruption or whatever it was called.
Not to mention, you could probably get the DLC for a decent price, and I never went back and played the DLC.
Yeah.
Which, to be perfectly honest, if time is on our side, I wouldn't mind going back and playing Horizon Zero Dawn again, because it's been like 3 years since I played it. I played it not when it first came out.
Yeah. 1 second. Be right back.
Uh-oh. Jay, what happened?
Sorry, no, I had to cut it off for a second. We had to take Mewtwo to the vet today, so Luna to the vet today, so Mew's being a hissing asshole.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
So,
I'll let
yes.
you guys pick up where you want to pick up from.
Okay. So yes, Jay, Horizon Zero Dawn.
Yeah, like I'm probably gonna go back and play it again before, the year's end, just because it's been like I played it not like when it first came out, because I want to say I bought it when I was on sale after it came out.
Ditto.
But I liked it. It was fun. I don't have my copy anymore, so I'll probably buy it when it's cheap. It was stolen by someone because I let someone borrow it that's very close friends with Trippy, and that person gave it to someone else to borrow without coming to me
That's wild.
because Trippy said it was okay.
Oh, Trippy. No, Trippy,
And then-
what the fuck?
And then that person
Look.
has since gotten married with child, so I will never see this game again. And
See,
every
look.
time I see him,
All right.
I will think to myself, wow, you stole from me. You're a real monster.
See, look.
This
in
is
my
why your
defense,
kid's gonna drop out of high
just ask
school.
for that game back. That's on you, bro.
No, his kid's going to drop out of high school a failure because
good
of him.
lord.
Damn.
So in my defense, yes, it was a very dickish thing of me to do. Also, it would have been long traded in by now, so do not let him fool you into thinking that he would have
I
beat this
would've
game.
held on to it
No, he wouldn't.
like a golden
He
treasure.
literally, when we were trading in a bunch of games, he was like, I wish I had my Horizon Zero Dawn to trade in right now. Those exact words came out of your
That
mouth.
is not
Those
what came out of my
exact
mouth.
words came out of your mouth.
I wouldn't say something like that.
So,
I appreciate you
Sitting here
spreading lies
spreading
and
lies.
slander.
Wow.
So I have a question about Horizon.
Yes.
They made a big deal in this one in showing off how hey, this takes place on the West Coast. Look, here's the Golden Gate Bridge and blah, blah, blah. And it's straight up called, what? Forbidden West.
The West, yeah.
In the first game, like, did they, like, make a big reveal out of it? Because they definitely don't remember in any of the marketing for the first one. Like, hey, this is the East Coast of the United States.
Yeah, see, I don't remember any of that either, but like I said, I guess it's just maybe something that comes later in the game, because like I
To
said,
be perfectly honest, I
didn't
don't
beat
really
it.
remember it either. But again, it's been like 3 years.
Yeah, because I know it's supposed to become a thing that you run into cities and stuff later on.
Yeah,
But
I remember that.
Yeah.
Like, you run into like ruins.
yeah, you run into a lot of ruins of like basically. It's basically in a far, far future where technology became too much for mankind. Shit ended up happening. We all got wiped out.
Robot dinosaurs.
Yeah, robot dinosaurs and shit now exist. People don't trust technology. Anything technological is a sin. It is not to be played with. Anybody who plays with technology must be banished from their villages. And that's basically the world they live in. It's a pretty cool game. I'd say out of like third person games, it's one of the best. Easily up there.
So,
Yeah, it's fun. It's unique.
Yeah.
you guys being the PlayStation guys, I haven't played this yet. If I beat this game before you guys...
First off, let me tell you right now, that's never happening because I know you very well, and your capacity to play through a third-person action game is far, far lower than my tolerance to play through a long third-person action game. So
But see, here's the
ever beaten
thing.
this game.
As far as I'm aware, she mainly uses a bow, correct? I thought it was mainly ranged.
It is mainly range, yes.
Yeah, see,
Uh,
right there. That's
but-
I hate third-person action melee. I love third-person shooters, and a ranged game like this is basically a third-person shooter.
I mean, in a way, yes, but there is third-person combat, so you do have like a staff that you can attack things with.
Bleh.
It's just that you'd usually want to shoot first.
Well, honestly, I
last.
probably will try to play it at some point. I'm going to make a list of games that I feel like I need to try before the generation ends, because I'm looking for stuff
Yeah.
to stream anyway. And this was one I already kind of had written down on a short list of like, I should probably try Horizon before it goes. My
Yeah.
biggest thing was, like, it was never, to me, I never heard someone be like, the gameplay's so great. It was always like, this game's gorgeous. And yeah, okay, cool. I guess I can enjoy that without buying the game.
I mean,
Yeah.
gameplay's fun too.
Yeah, I'd say the gameplay is fine. I mean, it's nothing revolutionary. Like, at this point, yeah, I mean, you pull back a bow, you know what you're gonna get. You're gonna get the arch. You're gonna get the shot. You're gonna get the traps to set up with her. You get like
It's kind of like Far Cry.
yeah. It's
you-
honestly yeah.
It's very Far Cry. Like, you
Yeah.
gotta kill the different things to get their components, so you can get different weapons, so you can upgrade things, so you can
See,
manage
I
your
like that.
inventory.
I like watching numbers and things go up and having
Yeah.
more of a
Numbers
thing
go up.
than I had before. So,
I mean,
don't
honestly,
think
yeah. I mean, main thing, it's an Ubisoft game, so you've played an Ubisoft game before, right?
yes.
Then
It's
you
not
know the
literally
exact
an
system.
Ubisoft game, but I get what you're saying.
Yeah, but I say Ubisoft has all the same shit. You travel around, you climb a tower, you open up the area, you do a whole bunch of side missions,
Does
you
it
climb
literally
another
have
tower, you
towers?
open it all up. Yeah, there are literal towers in that game.
Oh.
Yeah, there's literally freaking like brontosauruses that walk around that you have to like climb to the top of their heads.
Yeah, so yeah, like the
kinda-
towers in here.
Oh,
yeah,
that's
they're-
kind of cool. That's a little bit better. Okay, I like that as a concept at least. I get why you don't abandon that if you have that thought. That makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah, so yeah, there was definitely a lot about Horizon Zero Dawn that makes it worth playing.
So I guess final thoughts on PlayStation conference.
Oh
shit.
Oh
Sorry.
yeah, we haven't talked about the main thing.
Yeah, the fucking. You just talk about it.
Yeah, so the console design for the PlayStation, it seems to be very people have split decisions on whether they like it or not. I didn't particularly care for it. Farisley doesn't particularly care for it. Jay happened to actually like it.
I mean, I think it's fine. As I've heard many times from other people, if it works good, I don't care. It could be a bunch of sticks duct taped together. If it plays my fucking games great, I'll be like, hell yeah, let's do this.
Yeah.
But
It looks fine.
But here's the thing, like, it looks weird as hell. I would have accepted if it looked weird as hell, and then I go, oh, but it looks like the weirdness is going to help keep it cool and not loud like the last two PlayStations were. And I see this thing and I go, the vents are in the middle? What? What?
Yeah.
And I'm very concerned this is going to be another loud console. Now, mind you, have you seen how big this thing is?
Like, if compared to what the controller looks like, yeah, it's a pretty big bastard.
Dude, you should see the picture of it next to a PS4 Pro.
No, I have not seen
It's
pictures of PS4 Pro.
Big. I'll see. You guys can talk somewhere. I'll see if I can find you that picture.
Okay.
That put things in a different perspective for me, because holy cow, it is a significantly bigger than a PS4 Pro.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah, so they're coming out with two different versions, a digital-only version and then the regular version. I'll be able to accept the Blu-ray discs and 4K discs. So that in itself makes the other one just very much slightly bigger, and it didn't look like it was actually like a huge visual change on it, other than just not having that disc slot. The main reason why, like, the unique thing about it, yes, it does look like a weird avant-garde art piece. But my main issue with it is, and like I said, like you said, it plays your games, whatever the fuck. I still think it's like, yeah, it plays my game, whatever, but I still think it's kind of ugly just to be just having displayed wherever. And just like after Farisley sent me a picture of it, what it looks like when it's actually like laying horizontally, yeah, it just looks even more unappealing to me.
So that's what ruined it for me. I actually kind of liked it when I saw the standing up one. The disc drive one I think looks ugly even standing up, but the disc driveless one standing up, I go, that looks kind of slick. And then I saw the sideways picture and I was like, that's ugly as hell. What the fuck? Why? Who did this?
I mean, I don't care. It's cool. I'll buy it.
Yeah, for me, it's just like after seeing like some of the pictures that a buddy put in like one of the groups were in, like one of them was Kaiba's head on it because it literally looks like the jacket that Kaiba wears in freaking Yu-Gi-Oh. So
that is a big boy.
That's fucking...
Oh yeah, that's a big bastard. Yeah.
I mean, I'm still getting it.
I'm getting it too. I don't like. I'll stop caring what it looks like in like a week, and then I'll care again once when I get the console. I'll be like, oh yeah, this thing is fucking ugly, and then I'll go back to not caring, and I'll never think of it again until they have a Slim come out and I go, that looks a lot better. Good job, Sony, you did it.
Yeah.
And like I said, the only other major thing I really don't like about like the design is, I mean, sometimes you gotta pick your shit up and move it, and I don't like how awkward it fucking looks. Like, I don't like the little edges that it has here.
So
it just...
The part I'm concerned about is that stand. I'm fine. Now, the image I just shared, the stand looks a little different than the one they showed before. The one they showed before looks like it has a little bit more curve up to protect it.
Yeah.
But if it does have that curve, then that can't be the horizontal stand. And this thing's gonna need a stand for horizontal because it is not flat on either side.
Yeah.
So
it's just...
Is it gonna include two stands, or am I gonna have to buy a horizontal stand? Because I have to buy a horizontal stand, that's a little bit of a fucking peeve.
Yeah. That would be a pretty...
I agree with
stupid
that
thing to do.
Because I feel like more people keep their consoles horizontal than vertical. Because vertical's just asking for something bad to happen.
I feel like monsters keep their
consoles vertical.
Absolutely.
Like, you have to be a monster to do that.
Like the only console that deserves to be held vertical is the fucking Wii.
Yeah.
But
that came with a nice stand for, like a perfect stand for it, and it wasn't ginormous.
Yeah.
Like for me, like Xbox 360 taught me you don't put a console vertical.
Oh no, yeah.
Oops, I accidentally touched my Xbox. Oh, this game's ruined.
Yep. Big ass ring right on the disc.
That's why even with like Microsoft, like with the Series X, the first thing, because they show that thing vertical, and the first thing I was like, please tell me you can turn this bitch sideways, and you can. Like they're like, yep, it doesn't fuck with any of the vents and everything, it's fine. But if I have to buy a stand, that'll be something that irks me. Again, only day one, I'll get over it really fucking quickly. But it's little things. Like when I get excited about a new console, I don't want to have to be going, oh man, this thing. And it's one of those things that's going to have me going, fuck, this thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, I will, like, since that image that you sent, it's really funny how the PlayStation 5 is literally like a big avant-garde art piece. And then the Xbox Series X is just a big-ass black box. That's it.
No, for sure. Like, completely opposite ideas in what they wanted for design. So I can see how someone would go, like, depending on what you want out of your shit, I could see how someone's like, I love how PlayStation 5 looks, and I don't like how the Xbox looks.
Yeah.
Personally, like, I mean, I know, I'm not that old. I'm 27, gonna be 28, and I don't need, like, I think when I was in high school, I would have been like, PlayStation 5 fucking looks amazing!
Yeah.
And I would have been like, the Xbox looks bland. It doesn't look bland, but I kind of like bland now. Like,
yeah.
I won't be embarrassed to explain to someone, that's the thing that plays games and watch movies on. Oh, cool, okay. It's very unassuming, and you'll probably never notice it. Versus... Yeah. Is that an Alienware computer? No, that's my PlayStation.
Like I said, yeah, that was literally my whole thing with it. Like, and I guess it just comes from the whole thing of, now, like, having a place and, like, changing things up from time to time and, trying to make an aesthetic that I like. It's like looking at, like, the way the PlayStation 5 looks, it's like, God, that's an ugly beast. Like, what? It will fit.
It won't match anything.
Yeah, exactly. It doesn't fucking match anything. And, like when you have something just, like, sleek like the Xbox looks, it's like, you can put that fucking anywhere and it'll fit in.
Do what it kind of looks like? It looks to me like if there was, like, a fake, like, video game console in Detroit Become Human, it would have looked like that. 100%.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
And so you brought it up before, the blue light on the PlayStation controller. I think you can see it in this picture, how you're going to get a blue light. It's not going to be as big, but it's in those spaces between the touchpad.
Yeah.
But the console having a giant-ass blue light on the side, like...
yeah.
There are people who are going to have this in their bedroom and, like... I don't know about you guys, but, like, over the past, like, year and a half, I've gotten, like, for some reason, weirdly sensitive to LED lights being on at some point in the room while the rest of the room is dark.
Yeah.
And it wonks my brain out in a way, and I'm like, I need to go cover that. That, for some reason, is bugging me more than if the light was just on.
Yeah.
No, that doesn't bother me at all.
Yeah.
I have my PlayStation 4 in standby mode, so it's got the little yellow bar on there almost all the time.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I guess it won't be blue all the time. Yellow, again, is a little less... I don't mind the yellow. If it was the white or the blue... Like my hard drive, my hard drive that fell and died. You had a blue light on top of it, and I had to hide it behind my TV because if that thing, if it wasn't hidden, that light like
drove you crazy.
It just hit a weird part of my brain that was like destroy.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I'm hoping that the light is just very dim. Because that's like how the lights on the PlayStation 4 are, so I'm hoping it's like that, where it's just like a very dim light and it doesn't like show hard. But from what I saw with the PlayStation controller, it looks like the light, does it go all the way down the handle, or is it just literally on the touchpad?
No, it's just on those sides and it ends at the thumbsticks.
Okay.
I like the way this looks. I think I'm gonna like it even more than the 4. It looks like it's going to fill out... It kind of looks to me like you took the form factor of an Xbox One controller and meld it with a PS4 controller, and they kind of filled it out a little more, like how the handles
missed,
like
the last,
kind of
30 seconds, Pat.
We missed, like...
Well, okay. Basically what I was saying is, like, the DualShock 4... is like you took it and like meshed the form factor with an Xbox One controller, and then you got like how like it looks like a fuller controller and it's gonna fit in your hand even better than the 4 did, and it doesn't kind of feel like two dicks in my hand.
Two dicks, yeah. Wow.
I think that might be an issue, because like looking at it, apparently they did a side by side of the DualSense and the Xbox One controller, and they're about the same size now, and I'm like, I mean, look, I don't want to use the Xbox controller. I prefer the PlayStation controller for a reason. I mean, I'm going to use what I get, but will I like it better is I don't know.
I mean, I'll say this, like DualShock, I have literally both controllers right now. They are roughly the same size already. There's just a lot of like negative space and like weird contours on a DualShock controller where like it cuts back into the controller and it's not like flat backed. So like there's weird like spaces where my fingers aren't touching the back of the controller despite me resting my fingers on the back of the controller. And this thing looks like it's going to be more like form-fitting to hands, and you're not going to have as much like dead space in between where like despite like where you have to like bend your fingers in a weird way to get it to continue to lay flat.
A controller is something it's hard to judge until you have it in your hands.
Oh, for sure. I think it's going to be great. I think it looks... I'm excited about it. I thought the step up from DualShock 4 was great. Even if this thing's just a minor improvement, it'll still be a fantastic controller.
Yeah, absolutely.
I really want to see how that trigger tension shit works. Yeah. Because that'll either be really cool or really annoying depending on how it's implemented.
Yeah. Hopefully it's not like a actual like super tension thing when it comes to like certain tasks in games, because that'll just really be annoying and tiring.
Well, like, I promise you, where you're gonna, like, they're one of that Horizon, like, the thing they kept being, like when you pull a bow back and it gets more tense, like, that's gonna be one of those things where every time you go to use that bow, you're gonna feel that tension. And it depends, just, as long as it's not super strong, and it's just a little thing, I think it'll help a lot. Because,
I'm sure it'll also be.
Microsoft last gen added rumble to their triggers. While it's not the same thing, one of my favorite things, like racing games wise, is you feel like the way they control that rumble in those triggers makes like you feel your tires grip on the controller. It's so weird, and it's a weird thing to describe, but like you can tell when you're starting to lose grip based on the way the rumble's moving, and it feels natural. Like they don't be like, here's an example of this happening. You're just racing. You go, oh, I know this feeling. This is a bad feeling. This is my tire getting loose. And it's interesting.
I mean, that sounds pretty cool.
So, like, stuff like that's going to be pretty cool.
Yeah. Like, I know, I will say, at least with the tension on it, they're not going to make it too hard because, I mean, you know, obviously kids are going to be playing the console and, you know, they don't have, you know, adult strength, so they can't like make it too hard. And but I imagine maybe even for that reason, it might be a feature you could just straight up turn off.
Yeah, but the idea with the bow kind of interests me, because, like, if you're pulling back the trigger with the bow and then you loose the arrow, like, if you feel, like, the vibration through the trigger of the arrow being loosed, like, that sounds like it would be kind of cool, too.
Yeah.
Like, you could feel it when you actually shoot it.
Yeah.
Well, not only that, so the way video games have always done that have been you have to hold the trigger for so long to get maximum pull on a bow. Versus this, it won't be time-based, it'll be strength-based. How hard did you pull down on the trigger is going to be how hard you pulled back the bow. Which I think would be, like, cool. Like, that sounds cool as hell to me. And something you'd only be able to do on a PlayStation.
Yeah.
Actually, speaking of which, that'd be kind of cool. It's just kind of how Assassin's Creed Origins, like how they have the hunter's bow and then the other bow, like your normal bow, you like shoot like one arrow, but the hunter's bow you can shoot like multiple arrows at like the same time.
Yeah.
Like it'd be kind of cool if like, you know, you could shoot like you barely tap it, you shoot like one really fast light bow. Or light arrow, it doesn't go that far, so you just go tap, tap, tap. Just shoot like 3 really quick. And then if you want to like finish off with like a stronger blow, that's when you like pull it back all the way, and then you hit it.
I mean, that'd be really cool if they actually implemented something like that, where like,
that
was the way it went. Oh yeah.
Pat, I think we lost you again.
No, I'm here.
Okay.
I don't. I didn't know what you wanted me to. I thought you guys were gonna keep going, so I was listening, and then you
okay. It's like it was just a weird thing that sounded like dead silence rather than just like silence.
Yeah.
But yeah. No, that's pretty much it. Like that. Like those are the new features I'm honestly looking forward to. I do think the conference overall was pretty good.
Well, it's the type of conference that
I'd
we
give it an A.
always give A's for. Oh, you showed a bunch of games. That's the conference that I want to see. I don't want to see some fucking sports dude show up on the fucking stage for 20 minutes while you tell me about FIFA.
Yeah, but
Like,
they're
that's
about
cool.
Microsoft's about the presentation though, and I don't fault them for that.
Well, Microsoft did really good last year because they played a bunch of fucking games.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say Microsoft's past couple have been pretty good. They've kind of leaned in that. I think the only one they had that was kind of not great was their, and it was more just messaging ahead of it. I think if they were more like, hey, here's some third parties we're going to show who are going to be doing, some smaller third parties who are doing some cool stuff on our next gen, I think the last thing would have went over better. Yeah. But instead, people got overhyped because they let their imagination run wild, and you were like, we're showing Assassin's Creed! Yeah. And then what Assassin's Creed showed was nothing.
Yeah.
So, like, I think there was messaging behind that. I think, especially after this, I think you'll see something fairly similar. I don't think it'll be as sleek. I think Microsoft definitely likes to lean into the human angle a bit of their stuff, which is why they're big on bringing their developers out on stage. And you had Sony do the basically the epitome of that with having like a developer talk about their game. Microsoft just normally gives them more time to talk, and people complain about that.
I mean,
which I like hearing that stuff, but I also think there's a time and a place for it. Save that for something for me to go see later versus on the main stage.
I mean, the only reason why I won't go as high as an A for it, I would honestly go as low as a B minus, is mainly because of the issue that we talked about earlier, where it's not like talking about how they're going to implement backwards compatibility with their new games.
Yes.
And
I'm so sorry. I'm just real quick. I again completely forgot.
Dude.
I was like, oh shit, you're right. You know what? Probably isn't an A if I include that.
So that was just a huge thing for me, and I mean, granted, they still got time, but honestly, it should be in the next 2 months at least that we got to start seeing some price points for these new consoles.
Yeah, but I mean,
people got to save.
I think PlayStation's going to do the same thing that Xbox basically said. We're going to start doing stuff every month. Like, you're going to start seeing more and more information roll out. Like, you think this is the last we're going to see? You think that 30-second trailer for Spider-Man's all we're going to get?
No, not at all.
Like, we're probably going to get, like, a fucking 45-minute expose on fucking Spider-Man come September.
Yeah. Well, see, my main reasoning, and it's just like trying to think of it from like an actual point of view of like people spending money. A lot of people lost their jobs because of Naraku's and miasma and stuff like that.
I know.
They should be talking about price as soon as possible so people can be like, okay, this is coming out like November, blah, blah, blah. I need to start saving up like this much money as soon as I can.
So obviously you're only ever going to see this stuff if you're already a big fan. So you already kind of have an idea what these prices are going to look like. But this was seen by a massive audience. This is more than just big fans watch this thing today. So I agree. This would have been a good place to talk about price. But they've been chumming the waters a bit for a month with language saying basically, hey, this thing's not going to be cheap. So I think anybody who's paying attention to it's going to know that. But I agree. Most your casuals aren't. All they're going to hear is PlayStation 5 this holiday. Yeah. 1, it's going to be hard to get a hold of. 2, it's going to be expensive. Yeah. Like, I agree. I want pre-orders to go out as soon as possible. But we're not going to get that till we get a date and price, and those are going to come most likely hand in hand. But here's the thing with price and date. Microsoft and Sony are playing chicken on that.
Yeah, I know it.
They're going to go down to the wire to see who, we're both going to wait as long as we possibly can till we're uncomfortable waiting to say this. And whoever, blinks first, the other one's going to do what they can to try and undercut or match. And which I find interesting because, Xbox is rumored for almost a year now to have a lower end version of the Xbox One X, or the Xbox, Series X.
Yeah.
Yeah, those dumb
And
names.
there was nothing about PlayStation having a discless version, so that to me was out of nowhere, and I was like, wow, that's a bit of thunder stolen right there.
Yeah.
There's now we thought we were going to go into the end of this generation with 3 SKUs, and now we're looking at 4 SKUs.
Yeah.
So it's going to be interesting because I think you're now going to potentially have 2 Sony consoles sandwiched between the prices of 2 Xbox consoles. I think Lockhart's going to come in at the cheapest. Then you're going to have the digital PlayStation. Then I think you're going to have the regular PlayStation. And then I think you're going to have the Xbox there. I don't like Microsoft has bigger dumps of money than Sony does, so Microsoft can take a bigger loss on this if they want to. But I think it'll be interesting to see if either of these companies really want to take a loss on these things, because they didn't last gen.
No.
Nintendo hasn't in multiple generations taken a loss on a console, and last gen Sony and Microsoft both said we want to make money from jump, and they did.
And they sold gangbusters. Especially Sony.
So I don't. I find it interesting to see if either companies, not only are they willing to go back to taking a loss on these things to try and have a competitive advantage, how much of a loss are they willing to take?
Yeah.
And that's the one place that you could say what you will about one console being more powerful than the other. If they get into a pissing match of I'm going to be lower than you, Microsoft can win that.
Yeah.
They can afford to win that.
I agree.
Yeah, they can afford to win that, but honestly, I know Microsoft can afford to win it. I don't know if they're willing to play the game that low, depending on how low Sony will go.
Here's what I'm saying. I'm willing. I think there's no world in where Microsoft allows. I don't think the Series X will be more expensive than the 5.
No way in hell.
I think at Microsoft will do what they can to keep that the same price, and then they will do what they can to have the Lockhart be cheaper, be the cheapest thing available. I think those are the 2 things. I don't know if Microsoft will try and get Series X lower than PS5, but I'd be willing to bet $20 that it will at least be the same price.
So what do you think will be the price difference between the disc version and the discless version of the PlayStation 5?
So that's the thing. 50? A disc drive's not that much.
That's what I said.
Yeah.
I said my original guess was I think the discless is going to be $400, and with the disc it's going to be $450.
I'd be willing to say $499 and $450.
I'd jump both those. Yeah, I think it's going to be $500 and $450. I think it's going to be $500, $450, Lockhart $400, and Series X $500 to match. And in a perfect world, Microsoft would probably rather have it at $550 or even $600.
I don't know. It'll be interesting. I mean, there'll be plenty more news for us to talk about coming up in the next couple weeks and stuff. So
it's going to be so fun. The rest of this year is going to be a wait. We're gonna have cool stuff though all this month. People showing off different games now. Now that both consoles, you're already seeing there was a lot of games announced after Sony stuff today that I think that we didn't even talk about at all. Like Nicktoons Kart Racing Grand Prix. Hell yeah, baby, let's go. But and then you have this time next month we got Microsoft's thing, which I will be 100% ready for. Yeah. Because that's just a lot of unknown now, too. You have a lot of their first-party studios who are going to be like, hey, here's the projects we were working on that we didn't, we bought and hadn't announced yet. So check all this shit out.
So do you think at that point they release their price point? Because, I mean, at that point, it's like...
That's July. I don't know. So Microsoft was originally scheduled to not have a video, but have a news drop this week. Called Jeff Grubb is a reporter for I forget who. He's a good reporter though, and he's been basically kept a list of events that are supposed to happen over the summer. And one of the ones was an unannounced event called Xboxing Day, which was he basically said, "Hey, this is going to be the reveal of Lockhart." And people were then like, well, maybe also price, because how do you announce a weaker system and then also not talk about the price? Because that's how you sell that weaker thing. Be like, hey, it's weaker, but it's cheaper. And then you get both prices. That, when Sony delayed the PlayStation thing, Microsoft delayed that. But Microsoft delayed that to August, according to him. He said August, but with the chance that as soon as Sony shows their stuff, they can then just move it up wherever they want. But he said they originally, that means Microsoft's willing to wait till August till showing the Lockhart, and I don't see them doing, like, to me that's when you do price. Price is then for Microsoft. Okay. Lockhart and price get announced at the same time.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I can't imagine them not doing it at that point, because at that point it's like, literally all they have left to show off is games for the most part, except for, the Lockhart thing. That's pretty much it. It's like, you gotta start coming up with that price. We need the price. Give me the price. What's the price? I need to know.
The other thing that's been floated around, and again, this is for Microsoft, but the other thing that's been floating around a lot is a lot of people inside talking about, hey, Microsoft might be aiming for an October launch.
Really?
Yes, and obviously, September, October, November, that's all fall.
Yeah.
So this next thing I'm going to say doesn't really lend a whole lot of credence to that, but it's interesting because they showed 2K for next gen, and it was the only game they showed that said fall. The rest of them for the end of this year said holiday.
Fair enough.
But 2K specifically took their time to say fall, which makes me think, not November. If your game's coming out in November, you say holiday.
Yeah.
You don't say fall.
2K always comes out in October, doesn't it? Like the first week of October?
Right. But they were specifically talking about next gen.
Fair enough.
Like, they were showing the next gen version and ended the trailer saying fall. So, if Xbox is out in October, then you start seeing games called fall, October and fall. I would say, yeah, you see those games. If I see a game get a fall release, I'm thinking September, October, not November.
Yeah.
So could we put? And this was at PlayStation's conference. They said that. So, are we going to see both consoles out in October?
I mean, to be fair, the PS3 and the PS3 and Xbox 360 came out like a week apart.
A year apart.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, it was a year apart. Yeah.
PS4 and Xbox One were, I think, like 13 days, 14 days apart.
I remember I worked both midnights.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I remember I bought a PS4 because I didn't want. I was like, I don't want to wait. I want next gen now. Next gen's here. I want to be. And then I played it for those 2 weeks, and then I got my Xbox and I didn't really touch my PlayStation again until I got the Pro.
Yeah, the PlayStation 4 came out November 15th, 2013, and the Xbox One came out November 22nd, 2013.
Okay, so
a week later. Good God.
I was impatient. I had too much extra money, too much time, and not enough patience.
Yeah, I understand that.
Because I bought Killzone. Blah. I will say, the next time I played my PlayStation was Infamous, which I was like, okay, I'm glad I got a PlayStation. Yeah. This was worth playing. Killzone was not worth playing.
Yeah, I didn't even
look at Killzone title
twice. Yeah, but
I think we're gonna have better launch titles this gen.
Yeah, definitely.
Last gen. I would stake my claim on that.
Well, yeah, because Spider-Man's obviously got to be a launch because they said that's coming out 2020 or winter 2020. So
they said holiday 2020, so it's gonna be launch window, which I would say is the first 2 months.
Yeah, so it'll be out for the new console. Otherwise, there'd be no point in them actually showing it during this, like when they showed it.
And I know I'm not a big fan of console wars, but I did see someone say, "Oh, so it's Spider-Man versus Master Chief this holiday coming to a theater near you."
And that I'm down for.
I'll be happy. That'll be heaven for me. I fucking love Spider-Man and I love Halo. Right into my veins, baby.
That's right.
Put it in there.
And on that note, we are excited for the new consoles coming out. Like I said, stay tuned to this podcast because every time new news comes out, we will not hesitate to talk about it. We'll talk about it in great detail if we can. So keep visiting us here on the Kuma Cave. Check us out on Twitch at twitch.tv/NYAO Live, where you can see the Grizzly Bear stream during the weekdays and you will see Anime J streaming during the weekends.
Well, like
except
2
for
weeks.
the next 2 weekends because he's
Yeah.
gonna die.
Yeah.
Yeah, but is this even going to be up by this
I'm
weekend
gonna put
anyway?
it up. Put it up. Saturday. I'm gonna put it up Saturday.
Okay, alrighty. Well then, yeah, stop by. I'll be streaming on the
Yeah.
weekend, and I'm gonna try and stream games that would be more likely on the stuff you'd see on the
Oh,
weekend
shit.
versus what I play during
Weeb
the
trash.
week.
Shit.
So,
Weeb
Some weird
trash.
shit. you know I only play weird shit.
yeah, no, I know. I have a couple things. I went on Steam and was like, "What's some weird shit on here I can find?"
There you go.
There's very good potential on Sunday. I might just play Maneater.
Oh God.
That game looks really
Oh,
good, and I
the
kind of
game
want to
is fun
get
as
it.
hell. It's totally worth it.
So I was thinking, I was like, I'll get it and play through what you already played through on stream, and then pick it up from there.
There you go. Well,
Yeah.
ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the Kuma Cave, I am Trippy Haps,
I'm the Anime J.
I'm the Frizzly Bear.
and we shall catch you next week.
Maybe.
Bye.
Doodles.